Yo, can you hear me? Ladies and gentlemen, it begins right now with an amazing time for Apex Legends. The World Championship for Core Battle League is here, and I am so excited to be able to bring you the Legacy Series. We have been heavy in this tournament event for the past 3 months. I have managed over 50 tournaments with hundreds of hours and hundreds of teams, all competing to make their way to this very moment. It is happening right now before your eyes, the World Championships. And man, I am thrilled, honored, and excited to be the one to bring it to you guys. This is Core Battle League's Champions Legacy Tournament Series. In short, the Legacy Series. And we are going to be giving you a good one that I can't even express how good it is today. We're going to go right into the action and talk about what you're going to get. But before we do, just a quick second so you can know how much it took for these teams just to get here. You're looking at the roadmap. You're looking at the beginning of time and how it all started with our qualifiers back in May. All the community was invited and everybody had themselves a good time trying to get in. Hundreds of teams tried, and then from there it was only 40 teams left to get into the majors, where only the top teams were allowed. Those teams competed in the beginning of August, battling it out multiple weeks just to get here with the last 20 teams in this tournament. I am super excited and thrilled to bring you the championship finals. And you're looking at the best format in all of Battle Royale. It is match point system. Normally we have multipliers to add a little fun for the community during qualifiers, but since this is a championship, there will be no multipliers today. It's going to be pure gameplay, players getting in here and doing their job, and it's going to be incredible to say the least. If you look at what we have currently, you can get placement points. By getting first place, you'll get 12. Second place, you'll get 9. Third place, you'll get 7. Fourth place, you will get 5 points. And fifth place, you will get 4 points, etc. As you see there. Down below, elimination points. It's 1 point per elimination. The catch in this game, what does match point mean? Well, you're trying to get to 50. Once you reach 50, you have reached the match point threshold, which gives your team the eligibility to win it all. But they have to get first place after the game where they have reached the match point threshold. In that, they will become the champions and they will win it all today. There are a bunch of prizes that we announced, from sponsorships, rewards, cash prizes, and we will be hosting a custom tournament just for the champions for our community. It's going to be a fun time today and going on into the future. I have a lot to announce, and I'm gonna give you guys a quick sneak peek before we start the game. This is the calendar. This is the official schedule for September. You're looking at tons of qualifiers where you can enter, just sign on up for free. Then of course we have our cash out tournaments that we will be hosting. We will have them twice a month, and it's gonna be a blast. So I hope you guys are ready. Speaking of ready, these players are ready. We're gonna start up game one and get the ball rolling right now. We hope you guys enjoy today's tournaments, because man, oh man, it is gonna be a good one. And I'm very excited to be hosting these tournaments for you guys to enjoy with me. We're gonna have a very humble tournament today, where normally we have some guests and things like that, and I had some big plans, but I'm saving it because this is our first series and we've ran through everything that we could. We have had some great guests. There's some other nice big names that are going to pop up and become casters or possibly enter the tournaments that you might know in the Apex community. So we got all that in the works. There's a lot more in the works. Tons of greatness happening today and going on into the future, and it's all because of you. So we just want to take a moment and thank every single person who has supported the cause and helped this tournament continue to evolve and take it to the next step. I'm dressed fresh. I know this microphone's in the way, but just take a quick look. I'm ready to party today. It's gonna be super special to see these teams. I have watched a lot of these teams make it into the qualifiers early in May, and then they waited until the majors, which was in August, the start of August, won that, and now they're in the finals, the championship rounds. Woo, goosebumps. Let's go. It is happening right now. Game one, the championships are here, and we're looking live at the first game, and it's game one. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we're doing match point, which is an incredible format made by Respawn. And man, oh man, I love what Respawn has done and does with their tournaments. The ALGS is back around the corners. You can expect it for the next year of all amazing stuff, all the way until July, where the finals will happen. Over $5 million for the ALGS tournaments. You can go to the website now, look up the information, and check that all out. If you go to my website, you'll find the link to their great stuff. That in mind, we're looking hot right now with a drop that can be the game changer, and something special here by the one and the only Gibby's Toes, one of the great teams that we've had. We had many champions come in and dominate and showcase their skill and their will. And man, oh man, this team has performed very well. We've seen a lot of great things from them. They qualified early on in the tournament once they played a couple of qualifiers and finally made their way in. And then of course, through the majors, comfortably getting up to one of the top teams. And now we're going to get to see what they have. And at the current movement and speed that you're watching, really solid looting here. You don't want to take up a lot of time. You want to grab what you need and get to the best positions in the game. And that's something that Gibby Toes does very well. And man, oh man, I'm excited to see what they have to offer for us players, watchers, and fans of Apex Legends. Welcome to everybody in the chat. Today we're going to have a more interactive chat. We have a lot of big things planned. I'm saving them for the next seasons. We have a new interactions that we're going to be creating for the community and for the players. And I do stream on multiple platforms, but we're going to start doing some exclusive content and kind of building the brand to get partnered with a platform in the near future. So with that in mind, with Gibby Toes looking really good and they are sitting comfortable, we're going to rotate around and see how everybody is landing pretty safely at the moment. And it looks like Six Crutches has scored some points already here, but super early, and no one team is officially eliminated just yet. Looks like Phantom Thieves lost 2 players but they made it out of the situation in this scenario for now.
Could use that.
And we're gonna take a rotation and look around to see where the action is going to be. It looks really interesting as far as everybody's comfortably getting into place and figuring out what they need to do to get good positioning. And Zero Depth, a team that we know and love, who doing great things, champions of the qualifiers and doing amazing in the majors, are currently spotting a team and trying to scout it out. And here it is, the shots start ringing off. Looking how outplayed, bro. An amazing player who has been clutch for Zero Depth, and they're gonna go ahead and start the fight here. They're looking really solid. Shots raining off with the Prowler and the R301. That's a good combination if you ask me. I'm liking what I'm seeing here, and he's keeping his movement fluid, and he's trying to get the best angles that he can on these players as he downs one. And man, oh man, it's just a start, but good start here for Team Zero. And as I say it, one of their players get eliminated. We did eliminate one of the other players, so it's a 2-on-2 at the very moment. We got to be very careful here with this scenario. As we go forward, we're gonna rotate into their second view here with Bronze Dive Trail, trying to get out of this scenario and using Rafe's amazing portal just to get his teammate out of there and try to get back in the safe zone. So far, so good, but it's not looking too good for multiple teams, as they are smelling blood in the water. And right now, Team Bronze losing a second player, and it's going to be very tough for them, especially with a team that's trying to stop them. We shall see how this all plays out. And KAO, a team formerly known as EOB, has come on board to take care of business and try to clean up Bronze here, trying to third party the situation, get as much kills as they can so they can score elimination points, and on top of that, continue their ranks up in placement. One of the things I always talk about is being able to score points on top of placement is very critical if you want to really win. And look at that right there, as we say it, KAO, showing why they are one of the top teams and champions from our qualifiers, getting ready for a fight. And it's going to be interesting to see how they prepare for this next battle, because there's so many teams in the area. And of course, y'all know Fragment is the hot drop in all of Apex. I think it's the highest traffic in the game, and I love it so much. Speaking of love it, we got a new legend. He got the nerfs he needs to balance him. I wonder how the community feels out there about Seer's new nerfs, and I like them a lot. I don't think he needs the interrupt to go away, and this is an argument I have. I'll start it up in the chat. You guys might disagree, and I might not be popular in that opinion, but I think that's a game changer. Just like Gibby's Dome is a game changer, just like Octane's jump pad's a game changer. Some of these characters have very strong abilities that you really would love to have on your team, and Seer's interrupt can really change a fight. But that's a story for another day. Just wanted to point that out. And speaking of pointing things out, we're gonna go ahead and check on a couple of teams as we go forward, rotating around and checking out DIB as one of the champion teams as well. This team is proven to be one of the best over and over again, and they are currently smelling some blood in the water, and we'll see what they can do here with their shots. I'm loving the Bloodhound instead of Seer. This is a traditional player. Guys like me who's played since day one really loves Bloodhound, but loves to see a different character that has similar abilities, right? Bloodhound's a tracker, and so is Seer, and I think that is fun to have multiple characters with the same setup. So we'll see how that plays out. but I love it. I love it. I love it. So far. And right now, great stuff by TSW, playing his part right now, taking his time right now. And this is one of those things when you're fighting, you don't just want to rush in. A lot of average players will be quick to rush in and not take their time in scenarios. And you have to take your time and prepare, re-heal, regroup, make a strategy, figure out what your game plan is. And that's what they're doing here. They're going to try to get an angle, and they do get an angle with good shots raining off. And it's just the beginning, but man, oh man, I love what I'm seeing right now by DIB. I'm talking about love what I'm seeing. If you take a second, you're seeing that they're not pushing this pace, even though they have the angle. And to me, that is strategic as can be. And doing a really good job right now to get themselves in the advantage. And they're not going to allow this team to grab their teammates' banner. They're trying to hold them off. They're willing to stay in the ring for it to make sure they push this team back and keep control of the game. And so far, so good for them. They are definitely taking care of business right now. Thank you guys for watching. You are watching the Legacy series. This is a Apex Legends tournament presented by CorpBattleLeagues.com, aka I am your host, Mad Gamer, and we are just getting started with game one, and it's gonna be a blast. I'm very excited because we know these teams and love all of these teams, and we love every team that has played for us. I put in a lot of work and energy, give up hundreds of hours to keep this all going, and man, the teams are here showing and proving that they can and will take care of business. And as you see right now, players are trying to figure out this portal, not allowing them to get their teammate, giving up. And I love what I'm seeing by these guys. Very solid job to hold that position. And I hope everybody's enjoying themselves as we go forward. Game one of the World Championships. So far, so good. We're going to go ahead and back out of this because we know what they got going on. This looks like KAO is having precautions as they get into a fight right now, trying to lay some shots down, stepping outside and making sure that K-Bach is backing off of this fight right here. He doesn't want to take it. He has to heal up quick, and his teammate is also in the middle of healing. It's going to be a lot of scenarios. They're pushing the pace here. Great shots, taking him down, and it was a perfectly played scenario here by Rampage, who's trying to get aggressive, a team who's top tier material. And check it out, they're using Fuse. Ladies and gentlemen, in a championship round, you are watching Fuse be used. And man, oh man, he's had a great buff, and I think he's at a great place in Apex. I like using him now with the buffs that they did. I think it adds value to the way you can use him with his ultimate and tactical being viable. As you can see right here, he's basically protecting himself using that ultimate as a shield. Nobody's gonna go into that fire, and now he can try to heal up, hope that nobody pushes him during that revive, and doing the right thing here, healing up. He should have got his teammate there, but looking like he's gonna do the right thing for his teammate and lift him up. This is perfect played. And there it is right there, a starting point for his team to reset and get it together. And it was all because of Fuse being able to throw his ultimate to push the team out of that position and getting themselves back in the ball. And look at that. Let's just take out KAO, who's getting shot through the window, but are sitting comfortable as well. And this is a fight to the death here. We'll see if these guys back off or keep it, because if they can hold this position and take the opposite team out, they pretty much are going to have loot for the rest of the game. It's already round 3. And if they can take this fight, they're in the ring. They're going to be very comfortable. There's 2 teams right next door as well. So they have to be extremely careful on how they're going to play this here shortly. Man, oh man, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. So far, so good. We'll see where this takes us. And a lot of comfortable play here. Rampage holding off and playing it smart. Also, KAO taking their time. And they're both right next door. They've had a fight, but they backed off from it for a second.
Enemy spotted.
And right now, just taking their time and waiting it out. And this is the fight to watch. It looks like UMP is also entering in the building, and you're going to have a lot of teams within this small space all pushing each other, looking real good. UMB wants to take this fight. They're going to be fighting an uphill battle to get up top, but they have control of the second floor. So this is going to be a standoff. One team will have to back off, and it looks like UMB decides to step away for a second here to figure it all out. And man, I love the counters between Seer and Bloodhound. It's something that I like to discuss with the community. Having a legend who can do similar things. Imagine if we had another Octane style player, or another Gibby with his dome that has a tanky style of play. These are very unique players that are pretty much very powerful. You know, Bloodhound has been in the meta since day 1 and pretty much never left. And he's getting replaced partially by great legends like Valkyrie, Pathfinder, and of course Crypto. But man, Seer looking to take control of everything and change Apex the way he says. Change is inevitable. So we're going to see what goes on here. These teams are taking their time and doing it right now. And again, all these teams are playing slow plays and taking their time at the moment. It's looking like right now, Gibby's Toes right back into action, getting their shots off, perfectly aligned right now, trying to set it up. And they have the bow check. I really like this weapon when it first released. I think it lost its popularity with minor nerfs, but it's still very powerful, especially if you can get a couple shots off before they notice where you are. It really changes the game. And at the moment, good bow check shots here by Throat Goat. He's trying to get some work in here. And even if you don't down somebody here, pushing them back into a corner like they're doing right now and then throwing grenades into the fight can be the difference. And right now they have the classic Octane, Bloodhound, and Gibby. And of course, Gibby's Toes must have Gibby on their team if that's their team name. And they pushed this team off and did a good job controlling the area. And they're slowly pushing their way into the ring. Their rotation is a fight. Their rotation is not as easy as they come. And good stuff here by Gibby's Toes. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the current fight that we're seeing. DIB trying to make a move right now with multiple teams on them, and they're popping some shots. They lost a player. They're gonna have to revive his banner. It's gonna be a tough situation for them. Looking like CRS also lost a teammate, and they're gonna have to regroup while they fight off DIB. And there's so many teams, so many battles happening right now. Brute force going up against KAO. And look at these shots, perfectly done by KAO. I'm loving the R301 100%, plus the G7, one of the classic weapons here. Single fire shots, good stuff by them. And right now, taking their time, KAO trying to get deeper into the ring, and they're right on the edge. And this is a decent spot if they can hold it. It's going to be very difficult because teams can rotate behind them to try to get in the circle. But if they can push teams back, they'll have somewhat of a high ground corner and pop some shots on everybody on their left side and keep watching the right. So this can turn out very well for KAO if they can hold this spot here for the remainder of the game. But only 7 teams left. It's getting pretty hot. Speaking of pretty hot, BTS, a champion and one of the fan favorites in our streams. We've had hundreds and thousands of viewers at times during our events, and BTS started off rough, couldn't make it through the qualifiers and kept playing, and it took them a while. Once they subbed out one of their players, things changed for them, and now they have the synergy and the flow to be champions and possibly win this all. Who knows? It's anybody's game, but they have to get into this ring, and this is the best part of Battle Royale, where you're forced to rotate and you got to find the best position for your team.
Let's go this way.
And at the moment, BTS trying to figure out their scenario and how this is going to play out, where do they need to go, because it's such an open space. And this is one of those zones where a Gibby is necessary. There's no indoors anywhere in the next ring, and all you have is the cover from a defense legend like Gibby. And like I said, imagine if there was a second legend who has similar traits that can protect you from aerial strikes. That would change the game drastically, and I believe we should have more legends who can do this and pretty much counter legends that we know and love and appreciate, like Gibby or Octane. And right now we got one for Bloodhound. So here goes the shots. BTS trying to get some shots in with this R301. The team captain Kyle getting his shots in, backing off, trying to make sure he heals up. Perfect timing to get in while the defensive dome drops, and now they are in control of this situation, about to finish this team off. If they do, it'll be 3 teams left. And man, oh man, great stuff right here by the team captain, backing off and healing up. And they get the wipe, and BTS in control of the scenario right now, unless they get third party. And there they go. They're getting third party at this very moment. He needs to shield swap. They're going to try to figure it out right now, and he does perfect job to shield swap. And they're going to try to push this team back and keep them away. Shots raining off once again. Cowsworth, team captain from BTS, putting in work, and they have the high ground here. They're going to be sitting pretty comfortable for the remainder of this game, because there's only 2 other teams left and they're currently fighting. They can third party this fight and get in the mix very well. 2 teams left. BTS with the high ground. Oh my gosh, this is it, folks. The battle is on. BTS about to go in against Gibby's Toes. Who will win, chat? Let us know in the chat. This one's for you guys, interacting with the chat all day long. Give me your energy. And right now, BTS getting the high ground right on top of Gibby's Toes. Can they finish him off is the question. Perfect shots with the Eva. The perfect setup here to finish the game with an Eva 8 and an R99. Amazing shots right now, but Pebbles goes down. It looks like Gibby's Toes about to steal the show and get the first game. No way. BTS cleans it up and takes game number 1. Wow. Perfectly done. And I'm loving what I'm seeing right there. Just the beginning of our tournaments. But man, oh man, BTS starting strong and coming in super hot. You love what you saw. I love what I saw. And man, it is just game 1 of a night of a lot of games by all of these teams. I'm feeling really good. I'm looking really good. That first game was really good. We don't have replays for this first game. Usually we do. We're doing a reset on some things here, so we don't have a replay. But what you saw there was great positioning. They survived a fight with a team. Once they fought that fight, they had the high ground and waited for the final team to be left, and they came in and cleaned it up It was a wild finish, but it got done, and it was a good start to these tournaments with the top team who's performed so well. A fan favorite, once again, a lot of great players, a lot of great communities in our tournaments, and BTS is the first team to win the first game, giving themselves 12 points for placement and possibly a big lead with the kills that they got at the end there. We'll see what the scores are, and we'll see how it all plays out. It's looking really solid right now. I'm loving what I'm seeing. We're going to do you guys a favor and let you check out our schedule so you can know exactly what we have going on. You're looking at a lot of different dates here from September 3rd and for September 4th and so much more. But I want to just talk about the fact that this series ends, but a new one will begin. And we got a lot that we've learned, and we want more feedback. Right after tonight, we will have a feedback channel asking the community, what do you want us to change? What can we do better? What is it that we are able to do to improve everything that we got going on? That is the question of the day, and that's what we want from you guys. So feel free to jump on board in our Discord and get yourself involved with this community. I'm going to give you guys a second here. We'll be right back. Enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I am so excited. We are literally just getting started. Game one just finished. It is looking real good. And I'm going to give you a better layout here so you can check our schedule out for a second while we prepare for game two. We're going to give you the leaderboard scores and game two so you can know what exactly is going on here. It is a good time to be an Apex fan. The game is at its finest. So much fun, a lot of great times, but also the competition, it is thick. And this is my favorite part as somebody who loves competitive play and who hosts tournaments. There's nothing better than these type of battles that we see consistently with these top teams. And right now today we have the top teams in the world. So be ready for them as they continue to showcase that they are the best, and they truly are the best. And one thing that I've been saying is we will 100% have world champions. The players that you see in our tournaments will be the world champions. I can guarantee you that they will end up being the world champions. And I believe we have multiple world champions in our tournaments. So be ready to see the champions of the ALGS be the same players that you see here. All right. With that in mind, we're going to go ahead and take a second and showcase the format before we show you the scores and what is happening. We want you to look at the scenario from here. All right. So the format is simple. Try to get to 50, right? This is called match point format. You're trying to get to 50. These 20 teams will be battling for placement points and elimination points. As you see above, first place gets 12 points, second gets 9, and so on. And then eliminations are 1 point per elimination. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good. And with that in mind, after they reach 50, they are in the match point threshold where they're eligible to win it all, but they have to get first place. And it's easier said than done, folks. It's easier said than done to get to first place. And speaking of easier said than done, let's take a look at the bomb that BTS just dropped right now. They came in hot, they went hard, and they put in the work to get 21 points to start this off. With only game 1, we haven't even got to game number 2 yet, and they already almost halfway to 50 because they got a lot of kills and then they got their 12 points. So you think about that, 9 kills plus first place. BTS top tier performance right off the bat. And right underneath them, the team who was in second place, Gibby's Toes, also putting in work, as you can see, 17th overall, and doing a really good job to keep themselves in line and to stay right at the good point. We're almost at the finale here when it comes to starting up game 2. We see the scores. You have Rampage at third place with 15. That's his team who was hot at the start. We was watching them early on wipe a couple teams. And then we have 6 Crutches right underneath with 9, tied up with KAO. They're about to get it on right now. And man, oh man, it is looking really good so far for these teams. Look at that. Solar's right underneath with 9. A 3-way tie for 4th place at this very moment. But this is not about who's last, who's second, who's third. It's only about who is number 1. And we still have many games to go. There is no limit to how many games we can play today. It's really all about the players and their ability to score 50 points and then get first overall. And we're about to get started right now into game number 2. Enjoy these scores while we start it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start it up right now. Teams all know what to do, but sometimes they still need a little babysitting. We just finished setting everything up and getting game 2 going right now. I have the legendary See the One You Envy doing our scoreboards and pretty much carrying me through these events by doing the scores for me while I run these broadcasting and managing the players and things like that. So super humble and grateful to have her as the backbone for the scores. It is the most crucial part of all this. It's the reason the competition thrives. So we are blessed to have her on board, and we will be recruiting some members to help out, whether it's video editors, whether it's other commentators to be full-time, whether it's Discord managers, and so much more. Everybody is welcome to hit us up and talk to me directly, and I will see if we can put you on board with our movement that we are just beginning. This is literally the start of what we got going on. And speaking of what we got going on, we are going in to game number 2. And I love to say that. I love to say that with a passion, because game number 2 can really be game defining. If BTS, who has the top score in these tournaments, if somehow they find a way to win again and score that much points, they will be the biggest threat in this lobby. And we don't know if that's the case, but man, oh man, if it is, this is going to be a scary tournament for the rest of the players. I do believe there's a lot of great players, and they're going to be there at the end and put in the work necessary to get the job done. So we shall see. Speaking of job done, Bronze Divers, another championship team who has won in the qualifiers. All of these teams here really earned their spot and put in the work necessary to get here. Again, it's 3 months long. There's qualifiers that happen. It started in May, and then the majors happen in August. So in total, these players had to play at least 4 different events to get to this point. Some teams played more because they couldn't win the qualifiers, so they had to keep competing and try to get into the majors, while others won on their first try and only had to play 4 events. Either way, all of these teams are worked very hard and competed against top tier teams. And right now we're talking about top tier teams, and look at this, FNG losing a player, about to get into it thick against Gibby Toes. And no, Gibby Toes is on top of the scoreboard here with FNG at 13th place with only 2 points. They lose their second player, and now they're hurting pretty bad, and they're going to try to figure this out here. The vault isn't good enough, and man, oh man, what a finish right there by Gibby's Toes. And you like what you see by them. They're pushing the pace and continuing to score as much as they can, and that's exactly what you want to see from some of these top teams. And speaking of top teams, the leaders right now, BTS, sitting very comfortable where they are, and they're not too worried right now, holding their position and trying to gear up and prep for the long game. That's what it's all about here. And they have that type of team captain that really strategizes rotations and being able to loot in the right positions and hold their ground, as we're looking at Calsworth currently scouting the area, trying to see where the enemy team is, knowing that they're on the opposite side somewhere, and just scouting to see where did they go. And at the moment, he can't detect them just yet, but you can tell that he knows they are on this side. And this is called strategic scouting, guys. You do not want to push the pace and put yourself in danger while you rotate. Being able to do this, whether or not you're a bloodhound, is just as important. And he's pinging open bins to showcase where they're rotating through, and probably communicating to his team that he definitely is ready to go and figure it all out. And they're going to group back up and then take it from here. And this is one of those type of scenarios that you like to see teams just play it smart and safe. And speaking of smart and safe, oh my goodness, 6 crutches, having one of the best places to hold if you're at the end of the game. And we don't know if the ring will close here. The ring is looking interesting, I'll tell you that much. We have a decent ring for this round. It's gonna get super interesting. If we take a look right now, it's gonna be on the south end of the map, and I like this. If it ends up in thermal, and that means 6 crutches, who's here already, will have the key advantage for this scenario. And we shall see. Speaking of we shall see, we're gonna see where the rest of these teams are and what they got going on. It's looking like Team Zero in the thick of it, getting pushed at the moment. The Prowler is out, man, and that thing hit so hard, taking down one of their players. But two of their players are down. and it's down to outplay. Can he outplay him? Two players here. We'll see if he can. Doing a good job so far, taking down another one of their teammates. And they might be reviving the opposite teammate. And here it is. Caustic versus Outplayed. And look at his movement. Perfectly done here. Trying to keep the pressure on the team. And he's going to go ahead and get up there before they revive. Let's see if he can take care of business. Gonna back off again. Caustic, another legend they got a buff. Man, Apex is at its finest. I swear, I wouldn't have thought I would want to play Caustic and Fuse as much now, more than ever. And 2 years later, when you didn't think that was gonna be the case, it really is, and it's a beautiful thing. And speaking of beautiful, man, oh man, Mystic coming in, stealing that kill. And still having all of their teammates here. Solid work by them. Another championship team. Again, over 80% of these players that you're seeing here are champions. They already built their legacy in our tournaments by consistently winning, whether it's the qualifiers, where you got to win to get into the majors, or in the majors doing some amazing things. And that is just a testament to how skilled these players are. We've had ALGS world champions in our tournaments, and their teams have lost against these teams here that you're seeing. So you're talking about scary teams that can compete with the world's best in ALGS. I believe ALGS really has the top players in the world. And one thing I argue about is top players or top teams, and there's two different topics there. It's going to be a sensitive subject, but they are some top players who just aren't good teammates. Sorry to say it. And that's why you see the top teams win. Teams you might not know, or you might not think are the best. They win because they have the best team synergy, the best communication, best rotations, and best overall flow as a unit. And that is very critical, as we're watching right now. Mystic pushing the pace for his team, trying to probably communicate to them and tell them, hey, let's get this fight going and let's get this rolling here. And you like how hardcore Mystic is right now with the way they are moving. We're gonna take a quick listen.
Let's go this way.
Let's go here.
To them.
Okay.
Follow me. That's why, yeah. Seal up, I'll hold you. And you
Just
want a
gonna-
2 to 4?
Yeah.
I'll take it. Or
Yeah.
you
Here.
can.
Six here. Mid range.
Someone should take this site if you were gonna take it.
I took it.
Yeah, you're good.
Let's go. Look at this care package. Kraber for Cecil.
There are people
Oh
right
yeah,
on
we're
top
fighting that.
of
We're
this.
fighting that right now. Let's go. Let's get the
Can I
care
vault
package
too?
first.
Can I not alt the roof?
Yes, ult the
Get
roof.
up there? Okay. Let's just make sure they're up there still.
They are. Look at them.
Yeah, they are. I gotta get close enough to do it. I did it.
Want to go up the zip line?
Just
or...
gatekeep them. Gatekeep them.
Okay.
We gotta wait for something to happen.
I'm shooting on them. I'm shooting on them. 80. Cracked.
I have no jump pad. I do. Come here.
Oh, down one.
Yes,
Nice,
come
nice,
to.
nice. I am. I'm bubbling.
Good shots here. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
I'm
These
throwing
guys
that.
do a really solid job right now. Taking care of business here. Perfectly done. We were listening to Mystic. They are a solid team. You can see that communication, that coordination, as I spoke earlier. Only the top teams can perform this way. There's a lot of great players, but if you put them together, they might not have the synergy. Everybody wants to be the team leader. Everybody's too passive, or there's just not good enough coordination. People are not working good together. This is a problem that you see in many teams, and only the best teams have the synergy to be great. It's one thing to be a individual great player, but it's another to be this good. And a quick listen to Mystic's great push there, perfectly timed, and the synergy was just right for them to take that team out and do their job. Again, there's 15 teams left in the second game, and Mystic came out on fire doing what they do.
Okay. Well, good call to throw it up there.
And we're gonna go
Go
ahead
this
and
way.
jump off of Mystic.
How much
You
kills do
got
we
to
have? I
listen
have 2.
just a little bit. And that's the type of communication you want to have. If you really want to be a winner and you want to do it big, you got to have that synergy. And I love what I saw by them. And right now, speaking of them, it's looking like Phoenix decide to take the loss and lose 2 of their players. He backed all the way off with Wraith. And now he's going to try to revive his teammates and get back into the ring. He's going to have a tough fight with teams all over. And speaking of all over, look at that BTS still in the fight right now. They're trying to make a move and push the pace. We're going to see if they got what it takes. Man, oh man. Solid stuff so far. I like what I'm seeing by them.
Enemy over there.
And at the moment, doing some good stuff right here. Good shots so far. And there's a lot going on with these 2 teams. But we're going to go ahead and take a look and rotate to see what UMB deciding. They're deciding to rotate out of there, not take this fight. BTS pushing them back, which is a good thing for them because now they have the ring and they push the team out of the ring, giving that team a hard time, having them rotate all the way around and possibly putting themselves in danger. So solid work right now. And it looks like UMP doesn't want to give up on this scenario. They might actually push it back and get back in there. They are getting gated right out of the ring. They have the edge here, but it's going to be a chokehold point that they do not want to be a part of after this round. And we shall see how they play this. They're going to have to rotate in now, figure out how they're going to play this. It looks like BTS is going to push the pace and try to take this game. They really want this win. They're putting in some serious damage out right now. BTS taking control of the pace. Shots firing here. The flatline, the best rifle in the game, in my opinion. It is a beautiful thing, and we're going to see how good they can do in this scenario. And shots raining off. BTS taking control of this scenario and keeping them back. And it's looking like BTS is getting third party, and they decide to evacuate the situation. Smart play by them. One thing now, they're going to have to be very careful with this third party scenario. Hopefully they back off enough to let the 2 other teams take the fight while they just play it safe. And it looks like Bronze trying to get their points in right now. Little do they know, have multiple teams on them, as you can see here. It's not an easy look for them, but they are trying to figure it out at the very moment. Can they do it? It's a question. And I like what I'm seeing right now by Team Bronze with only 2 players. One of their players is out. Not much you can do in this scenario when you lose a teammate, but continue to fight, try to score as much points as you can. You shouldn't only focus on placement. You should try to get some kills and work on your game. And I feel like that's what they're doing. And it's a smart move. This is what you want to do if you want to be the best. And it is definitely interesting stuff by them. We're going to go ahead and rotate around and see who's right above in this scenario. Remember, BTS is here. Bronze is here. Multiple teams are in this fight. UMP trying to go ahead and score themselves some points, and they're not doing too bad. At the moment, they're in 10th place of these leaderboards out of 20. That is a decent start. They need to step it up here and score as much as they can. And at the moment, we're looking pretty hot for UMP. They're going to have a good rotation start here, and they're going to be able to push these teams back when they get into the ring and holding them off. Solid stuff right now. And we're going to rotate around to check on teams close by. Might be bumping heads right now with Team UMP. They're getting scanned from above, but Team Gibby right above UMP and about to get into a big fight right now. Catch UMP rotating. Gonna try to push this pace here. And this is what you want to do when you can catch a team as they rotate. Keep them uncomfortable, push them back, get them in an awkward space, and then take advantage. Look at this. It's looking like getting hit from all sides. UMP trying to survive the fight. The Ravens are also here. We got a lot of teams in the mix for this scenario. Still 14 teams left. UMP surviving that situation, but man, it's a dangerous. Love what I'm seeing right now by UMP deciding to push the pace and try to finish this off right here. Good Arch Star, man, oh man, we talk about greatness. Shots raining down and perfectly done right here by UMP, and now they're gonna get a couple of downs and some cover for the moment. They have a second team trying to push them. What a wild situation with 3 teams all in this area. UMP just playing it safe. We're gonna take a look on the opposite side. Seems like Team Mystic trying to take care of business and get this action. It's being fired. Can they hold it down? They're losing 2 players. Not looking good for them. Brute Force coming in hot, trying to take this third-party fight. They're gonna rotate out of there with one of their teammates and decide they do not want to surrender to this and get themselves some placement points. Blue Squad in 7th place with 7 points for the first round. Coming into the second, if they can get some placement here, they would be very, very comfortable in trying to stay up there. But this is going to be a tough task. Talking about positioning is really good here, but they're going to have to rotate into the ring as it closes. And we'll see what happens with them shortly as we rotate around to the 9 teams left. KAO about to fight with CRS, another championship team who's done amazing and just an incredible team. Their team captain, Denmark, always community guy, very supportive, helping out other community organizers. We're gonna talk about community organizers a little later, give everybody a shout out. But right now we're looking at CSR. This is a team who likes to play positioning. They like to get the best position and then hold it for the last round. They're in round 5, so this is where they're gonna have to figure it out. And they're trying to gate a team out of the ring at the moment. As you can see, they have a perfect portal for them to get back into the ring. They got to be very careful. There's teams watching them. They're actually sandwiched by 2 teams. And look at this. There's 4 teams in total right in this vicinity. 2 teams fighting in front of CSR and 1 behind them. They're going to have to push into one of these teams to try to eliminate them. Getting hit from both sides once again. CSR about to go down. Tough stuff, losing one of their players. And it looks like Sola doing a good job. Solar Esports, definitely top tier performances. And man, oh man, they are back for vengeance to try to win this all. They have showcased that they can. Question is, will they? It's all about your will now. We all know these guys are equally skilled. These are very top tier players. It's all about your will. How focused are you? How much dedication and time have you put into your craft? We're going to see what they got right now with their shots being ranged off. 6 teams left. Can they make it happen is the question. I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. We're going to get a listening to them.
I need to grab light.
I need light. Yep. There's not much in there.
Oh, that's not good. We didn't get these fins. Where are the fins at?
There's a guy behind that box. Careful, there's a guy behind that box.
You need to get to me then.
Crack. Dead.
Right here, right down there. Watch that.
His box cut off.
Get back to our spot. Get back to our spot. Get back to our spot. I have 78 light. 78 light.
All right, I'm just gonna. I have 78 as well.
There's a duo down there.
Okay, I'm grabbing this bolt. I'm grabbing bolt. Grabbing bolt.
I got alternator. No, I'm chilling.
You're good. You're big chilling.
I only got 1 bat.
Two teams up. Two teams up.
Oh,
chill.
here. I have ult XL too.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
it to me. Give it to me. Drop it
Oh,
up.
yeah,
I
you
got it.
check, you check.
Just watch our back. Make sure we don't get walked up on.
Yeah. I'm about to hit another scan.
Wait, we win up here, no?
Yes, easily. Walking up. Right below us.
Can't,
What was that?
hold
I don't know. We're good. That was weird audio.
I'm gonna go.
Don't overextend yourself.
Yeah, we're good. We're just stay up top.
Let me know if you see any
Yes. Look at
natives.
zone. We just win.
Just
We
keep scanning.
Yes.
Z.
Just stay
Yeah,
up top.
yeah.
We just win. They're right below us in tunnel.
There's 2 squads though.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was Team Solar. Just a quick listen in to that team right there. And you heard them. They have the God position right now. This is what we call God spot. And they're able to control the rest of this game. There's 2 teams left. They have themselves a Bloodhound to scan where everybody is. They have themselves a Caustic to be able to control their zone. And then they have a Wraith to be able to get out of tough situations. They're going to want to push the fight. Once these 2 teams go at each other or try to come at them, they're going to have to push that fight when necessary. As you can see right now, cleaning up some shots and trying to eliminate one of the last teams. And this is a solo player trying to survive a scenario. Will he? I doubt it. And he goes down, and this is it right here, guys. The final fight begins. It's UMP with only 2 players trying to get up on the high ground against Team Solar. Not one of their players not making it, both their players not making it. Now they're gonna have to survive this scenario, and it's looking really good for Team Solar. They have the high ground, and they'll be able to keep this for the remainder of the game with a Caustic dropping his ultimate and 2 gas traps. Wow, this is not looking good for UMP at the moment. They're gonna have to figure this out, and this is Solar's game to lose. They have the high ground. One last team, only 2 players. They know what is happening here, and they're able to try and slow this game down. And perfectly done right now. The push is happening. They're starting to rotate. They have to get up. We'll see what they'll do here. It's looking like Solar's 100% gonna clean up shop right now. And you love it. Don't give up your high ground. Force the team to you, and it's going to be super interesting if Solar decides to get down there or allow them to die. And he's gonna go down. They're gonna push it. Perfectly done, eliminating one of their players, and it's a trade, and it's a finish. And amazing stuff by Team Solar, taking charge and in control at the finish. Perfectly done by an amazing team who consistently performs well in our tournaments. These guys have been champions, and they are Game 2's winners. And man, oh man, coming back with a vengeance. They didn't have bad first game. The second game is even better. So it is looking really good for this team to be able to stay in control. As you saw, they had the God spot, is what we call it around here. The high ground, the most comfortable position where you cannot be defeated. And they held it as best as they possibly can. And now they are sitting pretty, taking control of game 2 and possibly giving themselves a bigger and better lead. This is gonna be super interesting to see if they can continue this, as we'll find out after this game. And oh man, game 2, once again, we are playing match point. They're all just trying to get to 50, but man, oh man, this second game was a great performance as far as holding the high ground until the very perfect moment. And it was a perfectly timed drop down. I personally might have stayed up top and forced them to come up, but they went down in the perfect time and doing exactly what a coordinated team will do, working together, getting down there and cleaning it up masterfully. And man, oh man, I love what I saw right there. It's just a showcase of top tier strategy, being able to hold your positioning. This wasn't about gunplay, guys. This was all about IQ. Can you get the best spot in the game? If you do, more than not, you will win. So that is game 2. We still got a lot more in store for you, and I'm dressed up to impress up a little bit. Some swagger going on me right now. The reason I'm doing this is because we're in the championships. This is for all the marbles, some cash prizes, some sponsor rewards, and a whole lot more. We're going to do a custom tournament just for the champions in September. So stay tuned to that. That is a tribute to the champions being able to dominate, and we're going to have them help set rules and regulations for other players to join into their events. Just a lot of good fun stuff to kind of build the community consistently and grow together as we go forward. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been an honor and a privilege. We are just getting started, man. And that's fun to say because game 2 was crazy. BTS won game 1, Solar winning game 2 in amazing IQ fashion. It wasn't a gunfight that they won. They just knew how to have the right position, and they did a really good job to give themselves enough points and to take the lead and dominate in that fashion. So, man, oh man, I'm super excited to see what's next for these guys on this overall setup as we go forward. Let's talk about this month. We have a lot of events coming for you guys. All right, check it out. In September, there's multiple events. Every single week you have a tournament. And guess what? For the players who's been asking for cash, you want money involved. Well, we're going to have some cash out tournaments, and that's the name of those tournaments. They're going to be separate from our series, but they are united as far as within our branch. You're going to go ahead and get yourself involved deeply with what we have going on, and it's pretty simple. All you got to do is come to our Discord and sign yourself up, and you're good to go. And from there, we will 100% set you guys up for all of these events. All right. We will open up registrations most likely on Monday. Might do it earlier if I have time tomorrow, but officially all these events will have registrations that we will put in place, and you will be able to enter. And from there, we're going to 100% set it up for you guys to be able to be a part of it and get yourself involved. If you want to be a part of this championship style of games, it's just the beginning, but man, oh man, we are lucky to have it. Let's take a quick look. Talking about lucky to have it, I'm going to go ahead and look at these scores because we want to get game 3 going as fast as possible. And man, oh man, these scores are looking dangerous. The turnaround, Solar went from 7th place all the way up to 1st place with a dominant performance. That is actually incredible by them. And it's just a start because we're only in game 2. Any of these teams can catch right back up. BTS has 23. Gibby's Toes has 22. Six Crutches has 18, and UMP has 18. Wow, there's 4 teams with 18 points. Six Crutches, UMP, Brute Force, DIB, all with 4 points and looking solid. I love what I'm seeing by those guys. And of course, right below them, Rampage with 15, Mystic with 13, KAO with 11. So we are sitting very pretty. It is just a start, but man, you never know what could happen. The guys in the lower bracket, don't sleep on those guys. There's some champions in the lower bracket right now. Those champions are amazing players. They're probably just warming up. And just like we've seen in the ALGS, plenty of teams that start off rough, pick their pace up, step their game up, and then become the best of the best and win it all. So it's anybody's game. This isn't about who scores the most points. You have to get to 50. And then on top of that, you have to get 1st place after reaching 50. So you talk about a lot of work that you're going to have to figure out in these games. Super interesting stuff. And we're going to go ahead and get into game number 3. If you guys don't know what game number 3 means, it means 3. And we're going to learn to say it in every language, specifically Japanese. We have a lot of great Japanese fans. I stream on multiple Japanese platforms, and I have the captions there. Hopefully the captures are working proper, but they're at least set up. And we're gonna look at Ravens Rebirth, a team who came in a little late. And look at this, already getting taken down by Raven Alpha. Oh my goodness, the betrayal, wiping out one of their own. Raven Alpha attacking Raven Rebirth right from the drop. I can smell some serious betrayal going on, and we've seen this throughout our tournaments. These are two teams who are a branch of one organization, but every tournament they'll fight each other and they'll take each other out. They'll do what it takes. And right now, a really good job by Team Alpha. Surprise attack here and doing what it takes. It's super necessary, let's just say. And they're about to go into a fight, and this isn't a healthy fight that you want to take when you got a Caustic in there setting up traps everywhere, and it's going to be very difficult to get deep into this. They are looking to try to get in, and of course Caustic's very annoying to deal with, especially now with his buff. He's a powerful legend in closed spaces like this, and we're gonna see how they play it. Personally, I would back off for a while, let the gas get wasted, and continue to just poke at them from afar, not allow them to get that gas attack on me, as you can see here. And they're just playing it super smart. You might want to shoot through these windows and hit Caustic through the windows instead of wasting your heals on this scenario. For me personally, I'll just get in through the windows and fire a couple of shots when I can. As you can see here, smart play by Team Raven Alpha again. This is a betrayal by Raven Alpha. Talk about sad moment between two teams that are supposed to be an organization, but I love it to showcase that this is all real action. They are going in right now, trying to get the finish, and Team Alpha doing a really good job cleaning it up, and they wipe out their sister brand in the tournament. Tough stuff right there. That's not what you want to see. If you're one of those guys, you're going to be a little salty about it, especially in this scenario where you don't want to have that type of fight. And look, talk about that type of fight. Gibby's Toes in it right now against DIB, and you know DIB is super aggressive, but man, oh man, Gibby's Toes are trying to survive it. They're down 2 players, and they're going to try and stay alive, but man, solid work right here. And DIB cleaning up shop right now, super aggressive and getting the job done. And now they're in control of their own destiny and scoring some big points. And these guys are always top tier material. They have 7th place and 8, tied at 8 with 18 points with 3 other teams. And right now they're going to give themselves a boost to get up on the bracket. If you want to see the bracket, anybody watching live, you can go into the chat on Twitch and type in leaderboards, or put exclamation leaderboard. You can put a leaderboard with an S, or just leaderboard by itself, and it will prompt the link to the leaderboards. If you want to see it for yourself at all times, you can keep up with the scores. The scores are completed after the round is over. Mostly we update them as we go, but after the round is over is most of the time how we do it. And we are sitting very pretty for Team DIB right now, as they are top tier material right now with their performance there, wiping out another team. And now we're gonna rotate around and take a look to see where is the action, who got it going on. And it's looking like Bronze is the team in the middle of something, getting scanned just a second ago, and they're gonna play it patient here and not wait. They're gonna have to rotate, but they have to be very careful with team right below them. Here it is, trying to take the fight. Beautiful shots there. My favorite weapon, one of my favorite weapons, the Vault, and they end up eliminating those players. But now they're gonna rotate around to the opposite side, take on another fight. As you see, there's multiple teams in this area. Solid work here, getting what they need, swapping shields, figuring it out as they go. Perfectly done right now, and they're just sitting comfortable. This Bronze, you know, these guys are the real deal. They put in work. They are just top tier material, solid stuff by Team Bronze. And right now, they're gonna be fighting against Solar. It is not easy. Gonna see how it all goes. And right now, it's looking like Solar about to get eliminated. They're gonna have to try to figure this out. They actually took down multiple players. Let's see how it goes. And at the moment, they are just playing it smart and safe, figuring it out. I'm liking what they're doing. Gonna go ahead and rotate around. See what we got going on. A lot of good teams in here today, taking care of business. Speaking of taking care of business, it's looking like Rampage is out for some blood as they push the pace right now. Trying to get in on the action. Can they get it done? They have one of their teammates down inside. FNG trying to take advantage of this scenario. Rampage deciding to back off of this situation. Smart move there, I would say. Exactly what you want to do. You don't want to force it. And Team Zero holding their spot, trying to stay in control. We are going to go ahead and give this a quick look. It looks like CSR hurting pretty bad. Have to figure out what they need to do. Hey, love this team right here. Always super aggressive. They're pushing the pace. Trying to take a fight against Mystic.
Let's go this way.
And there's 3 teams in this area right now with BTS right behind Mystic and KAO. Will they pick the fight or will they back off? It looks like they're going to want to back off this. Of course, BTS is on the top of the leaderboard, so they don't want to risk it, but let's try to score some points if you can. If you have the advantage and you got a third-party fight you can take, go for it. One thing I always try to teach players when I talk about these games, pretty simple stuff. All you need to do is wait for a fight. It's very critical. You want to score a lot of points, wait for a fight, and then take out the 2 teams if you can. Let them down 1 or 2 of the players, and then you finish them both off. And it's the best play to make. And that's just my personal opinion and strategy. And I know that third partying can be looked at as a bad thing, but it's the way the game works. Right now, Six Crutch is down to their last man. Oh my goodness. And they're going to try to revive him here. We'll see how this plays out for them. Very tough scenario when you lose a player like that. But we'll see what they can do. And at the moment, Brute Force taking their time. You see a lot of teams just trying to play it smart. Let's go ahead and listen to DIB for a little while.
Sí, güey, no sé si el Octane ese sea del mismo equipo, pero hay un Octane ahí con ellos, güey. Es un Bloodhound, un Octane y un Caustic.
Y un Caustic, sí, güey. Van ese combo. Del medio, güey.
Speaking in Spanish, we need a translator, ladies and gentlemen.
Estoy... holdear toda esta zona. Y listo. Mira, ahí se movieron los otros. El Caustic se movió hacia allá, güey. Con Char Rifle igual. nada.
la casa, Chris.
61 al de allá del rifle de carga, güey. A estos manes los están holdeando los del edificio grande, güey. 18-1.
¿De dónde me dispararon?
O balas de sniper, güey. Me quedan 30.
Por acá están dando. The fuck.
Yo lo que ocupo son escudos, güey. Preocupa los fucking escudos. Lo que más me tiene pendiente. ¿Qué más pesada, güey? Vamos a ver si podemos agarrar ese paquete, güey, para que cambies de armas allá. A ver si sale algo, güey, bueno en ese paquete.
And DIB again talking in Spanish, guys. Not a lot of
Va a estar
communication, very
cabrón, güey,
calm,
porque hay un equipo ahí.
and just
enfrente del
holding their
paquete también.
position here. They have the high ground.
Se habían movido.
I wanted to give you guys just a quick insight to hear their commentary, but very small amounts of commentary. Anybody that's Spanish in the chat, please translate what they're saying to us so that we all know what is happening. This is a universal tournament. We allow every language. We've had Japanese, Korean. We've had, first of all, I love Japanese because Hideo Kojima, the greatest of all time. But that's a different conversation. We've had
Esto puede que se acá, güey.
speaking in Italian, a French team speaking in French. So we just like to give them a little chance here, see what they'll say, and enjoy the dialogue, even if you don't know what it says.
No piques y ya, güey, si no tienes sus.
Viendo qué podemos hacer, güey.
¿Puedes escanear? No, ¿verdad?
No, está ahí abajo apuntando, güey, con el sniper.
Tengo que Lobo y Kraber apuntándome siempre que voy para arriba. Güey.
Mira, si focusemos ese, güey, si le pegas un quebrazo no se va a asomar ya hacia allá. Trata de intentar.
Es lo que estoy tratando de hacer, güey. Estoy viendo cuando se asome para ver si lo puedo pegar o no.
Crack del gordo, güey.
35 carne.
Muerte la raíz aquí, güey. Muerte la raíz
Buena,
aquí.
buena.
Escanea,
Ahora sí puedes
escanea,
aventar
escanea,
el
escanea.
scan, güey.
Que ya les dije.
Del otro lado, güey.
Ah, escuché gente por acá, creo. Mira, 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 mira.
Vente,
Vamos para allá, vamos para allá, vamos para allá.
Está sola, sí, sí, sí. Pues seguir corriendo.
No está sola, no está sola, no está
Mira,
sola.
mira.
A la izquierda, a la izquierda, a la
La
izquierda.
matas ella, la matas.
Casi rota, güey. Uf, está super carne, eh.
Always have some fun when we do these listen-ins, and there's a different language. We've had Asians, we've had Spanish, Italian, French, a little bit of everything. So right there, DIB, a team that I didn't know was Spanish. So it just began and we started doing listening. Oh, hi. Okay. Really cool stuff. And very, very exciting. We have a lot of solid teams, and it's one of those things where I am hosting tournaments for all around the world. I do not discriminate versus where you are. There is one issue. You're on the opposite side of the world, away from America, where I'm at. The servers might not be the best, and that's something that we started to think about branching off and creating two different movements, having one side of the world, kind of the way Apex ALGS does it. Well, ALGS has multiple regions, and I think that's the right way to go. We're not big enough yet to do something like that, but I would like to set it up so that servers can be a little safer and smarter for some of these players who end up getting disconnected. And I want to acknowledge the teams who go through these issues, because it is tough during these tournaments to deal with anything like that. And we try to do our best, but we allow every team from everywhere in the world, whatever language you speak, you can be an alien if you know how to play Apex. Come on in. Just don't invade Earth. But that's what we got going on. And right now, DIB playing it smart and safe. They're not pushing this pace. I actually like this. I like the fact that they were holding back and want to keep this position. And their Bloodhound has been a real savage, getting around the map and pretty much scouting for them everywhere, pretty much figuring out where multiple teams are. And we're gonna rotate around for the moment and try to check in on some of these guys as we go forward. And speaking of some of these guys, we saw Alpha eliminate one of their very own, and now they're about to get ready to surprise attack a team. And it's a two-man squad, but being brave and willing to take this fight, I like it.
Go here.
And let's rotate around and see who's gonna be in the action right now. Man, there's so many teams moving in to the west side of the map, and man, I like when we're in this area here. It could get very hairy in these buildings. Also, a lot of posturing and holding the buildings. This can turn into an interesting end game where teams figure out when is the right time to push and when is the right time to hold back. And speaking of hold back, brute forces are getting attacked right now, getting hit pretty hard, and it's Team Alpha to one-on-one at this moment. Brute force versus Team Alpha. Mr. Yam trying to get his shots off and doing a good job with that Eva. Beautiful stuff, but he gets eliminated. And Team Alpha, their team captain Spotlight, survives this scenario, and they're trying to score placement points here. Still 12 teams. It's not an easy task. It's a lot to ask for one man to take on this many teams and survive, but he is trying, and he has himself a rat position. We know about those, don't we? Speaking about those, check this out. At this very moment, looking really good overall. And solid stuff by them. At the moment, Team Zero just pressing the team. You don't necessarily want to take them out, but you want to keep them uncomfortable, make them waste their heals, and pretty much damage farm damage for a little bit here. And they actually created a portal down below to get over to them whenever they need it, and they're going to be rotating there. Two of their players are already rotated. Now they're going to go ahead and rotate also. Oh, they came back. Really good stuff here, picking up some loot from a death box and being able to get back into the fight. As you can see, they picked up a bunch of bats. Now they're comfortable. With 8 teams left, it's gonna get interesting here. Looking like DIB about to get into this fight. Holding this off here, being very smart about their positioning. Beautiful stuff, and eliminating a team there. Great stuff. And at this moment, it's not a safe spot for some of these guys here. Gotta be very careful. The ring is closing in on them, and they gotta get into the ring. BTS is one of those teams with somebody right next to them. They're gonna have to push out of this building into the next area. Gonna be out in the open with multiple teams beaming them. It's not looking good for BTS. Getting hit pretty hard here. Solid work by the rest of these teams, being able to keep their control of their positions. Zero depth, not allowing this push to go out without fight. And good shots. R301 doing some work right now for outplayed. Zero Def, a great team who's also performed very well in these tournaments. And right now they're trying to get the shots off. And solid work stopping that push right now. And this is one of the best positions in the game. They have a lot of room to play with within the ring. All they want to do is push back the last 4 teams that they'll be fighting off. They can win this all, but of course, these other teams want to get their names out there and try to win as well. So we're gonna take a quick spin and see who's on the table. We're looking at the Avengers holding the underground right above Team Zero. So these two teams will be facing off shortly here with a team below and a team above. So super interesting on how that will play out. And Avengers getting up to the high ground, getting some shots off on Team Zero. I'm liking this small pokes, and one team will have to take on the fight in a second. We'll see if they get aggressive. And again, posturing, waiting it out, trying to play it smart. We're in the final ring. 5 teams left. Still a lot of action. It is going down right now. Get ready, because you know there's going to be a third-party scenario in this situation. And right now, it's looking like Avengers trying to rotate, canceling their ultimate, trying to get themselves deeper in the ring. Good shots here, trying to take Team Zero out, and they finish it. Down to one last player. And it's looking like Team Zero survives that scenario. And Phantom, a team we haven't got to see much of today. This team is a scary team when they're on fire. And right now, they haven't been at their best. That's one of the lowest performances at 19 plates at the moment. They get eliminated. This team's a very, very solid, incredible team, but somehow they get eliminated early. They haven't been scoring a ton. And we will see them come back most likely for game 4. And wow, KAO finishes it off incredibly. Sleeper, while we were talking about another team, these guys come in and wipe the table, eliminating 2 teams in less than 10 seconds. Wow, solid work by KAO so far, and a great performance by them. As you can see here, it was still 5 teams in this scenario, but man, KAO came out strong and put these teams to sleep. And that was game 3. We're going to be going into game 4 shortly. Hope you guys are enjoying it. It is just the beginning. And man, oh man, I'm excited to see the leaderboards once they get updated. And man, oh man, that was incredible stuff. While we're watching this, we're seeing these 2 teams fight each other off, but KAO also in the mix, eliminating teams with a third-party push here. As we saw, we were discussing this scenario, KAO in the middle of it all, eliminating teams left and right, and pretty much coming home with this win in a big way in 10 seconds or less, finishing it off perfectly. And wow, KAO back in it to win it. Great stuff right there. And I just want to take a second to thank you and thank everybody for coming on board and continuously enjoying this event. We are going to be continuing this tournament. It's just a start. These teams have to score 50 points first, and then they can get themselves a chance to win it all if they are number 1 after scoring 50, because that is the system and setup. And before we get into anything else, we're gonna take a second to let you see the actual calendar. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We are going to be going into game 4 shortly. Just wanted to take a quick intermission. Once we finish this game 4, we'll be really solid. It's looking real good as far as scores go. And it is insane so far. And we're going to go ahead and show you the leaderboards. Apologies for the quick delay. Go ahead and look at these things. Oh my goodness. We're going into game number 4. And there's been some amazing stuff happening so far. But I love what I'm seeing right now by these teams. Solid work. And Solar still on top with 43. They're right at the edge of getting 50. And of course, DIB right next door with 36 points. Solid performance right there. And I love what I'm seeing by those guys. And of course, KAO, who just sneaked in and won that last game, has 32 points at this very moment. And looking real good. And again, underneath them, BTS. All these teams have double digits, can easily get up there to 50 in the next game. You just need a great next game, and you're able to take care of business. This is what you want to see from these teams. They're solid performances from everybody. And man, oh man, we're possibly going to see some great stuff. These teams are still young and early on. It's still very early. There's a lot of games to play, and the teams at the bottom of the bracket still have a chance. So we're about to get started right now. Get ready for game number 4. It's going to be a special game, to say the least. We're going to let you check out these scoreboards while we get these players prepared.
Vishal Magamer says, starting now.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are officially going into game number 3. I'm very excited. It's been incredible to be hosting this tournament. And I got a lot to say about everything that I've done for the past 3 months. Been working very hard by myself with C, the one you envy, doing my scores. She'll come in on game day and keep the score for me while I manage the teams and do all the broadcast production and do the casting, and pretty much just a lot of work. But I am grateful for every single player who has been a part of this. We got some great things coming along for the next season, and we are just getting started right now with this event. It's looking really sharp, and I'm very excited about the future. And I hope that you guys are too. We actually invite you to be a part of the future. We're going to need some video editors. We're going to need some casters. We're going to need some scorekeepers and so much more. So if you're enthusiastic about Apex and you want to just get involved with a cool community of gamers who are doing this for the love, I believe every life is a life of service, and this is my way to serve the community. I might not go out and do things anymore like I used to, serving for homeless people or things like that, but this is my way to give back to society for now until I can go back out to the world after the pandemic completely gets cleaned up, which is another topic. But with that in mind, I'm just grateful to have y'all on board with me for these tournaments and events. And man, oh man, we got a lot of good things planned for the future. We reset during the middle of what we were doing here. We had to reset, and now we're regrouping, and we are about to take off into some new zones and do some special things for the community. We want to branch off and network with a lot of people. Again, this is all independent, so your help is needed and wanted. With that in mind, enough talk about me and the organization. Let's talk about these players. Who do you think got what it takes? All right, we've had what, 700 people watching from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, and all of these places. There's a variety of people all over the world watching this right now, and I just want to thank all of you as we go forward. Let's take a quick look as we get into game 4. Man, oh man, it's going to be exciting to see how these guys get it done going forward. I like what I'm seeing right now. That Team Brute Squad, a team that we haven't talked much about.
Level 2.
And these guys are some solid teammates. And they're doing really good right now in one of the new locations. I really like these new points of interest. They have been exciting to go to, and you know, you spend 2 years playing the game, and you're get some new content. You know, it might not be a new map, but it's a new area, and it's a new place to fight, a new place to loot, to rotate through. And this is super interesting setup here. I have a lot of fun getting in here myself. I am a player. I'm not just a host. All right, I love playing Apex. I believe I have knowledge of the game. That's what I take pride in. Might not be the world's greatest mechanical player, but I have what it takes to coach people, to teach people strats, and you know, play IQ Apex Legends. So speaking of IQ, the 2 best rifles in the game, and we can have the argument, the Flatline or the R301 is the big debate. The R301 is the most reliable because it has a more stable fire rate, but the Flatline hits so hard that you can't pass it up. If you're really trying to get good, you can use that, and you get used to the recoil. You're gonna do some special things, I promise you. And speaking of special things, Brute Squad sitting comfortable, holding this whole area to themselves. We're gonna rotate around and check out some teams and see where everybody is, and it's looking like BIB Smell some blood in the water. They're looking for some action at the moment. We'll see what happens. And at the moment, we're trying to figure it out to see what's happening for DIB. They do know that there's a teammate right next door, which is FNG. And they got to be careful here in this type of scenario not to put themselves in the vulnerable spot. Speaking of vulnerable spots, we're looking at BTS in the thick of it already against KAO. KAO is backing out of that scenario. Huge stuff right now by BTS. Again, solid work by them. Fix Crutches in the building. And they are about to push the pace on a team. Let's take a quick listen and see what they got.
But
I'm kind of here. I'm kind of.
Are they needed?
they're
Focus back.
adding again. They're third. Focus their third. Damn, I can't hit.
Headshot one. For blue, and that's it.
I don't want to get close. They try taking their jump pad. One has purple.
Give me as white.
They're using
Commentary
their
right
hands
now.
now.
Jump to his wall. We'll let you go.
He double headshot me. Oh shit.
On my ult. You good?
Yeah. I like the way
Watch
people
over me
spin
finish.
and they're minded. They've
Oh,
just
shit,
got
let's go,
unknown.
Give me one. You know it?
Above you,
Octane one,
above
Octane
you,
one.
above you, above you. On you.
You're fine.
Okay,
My
Nice,
bad.
nice.
Go.
After heal.
Yeah, you're good.
TV's on me.
Don't worry about them. You shoot up.
Yeah, they just weren't peeking, so I was trying to get them to peek. Oh shit, that's not good.
We have to push that, bro. They're trying to res.
I'm still broke though.
Oh my god.
I mean,
You did just pull heal, bro. Bait his res.
And in a very tough spot, we're gonna back out of there. Listening, it's gonna swear word get eliminated here. Trying to keep it clean for the PG. Look at this right now, doing a good job. Avengers avenging themselves, but man, they're getting hit from a third party, and they're gonna have to back out of this scenario. Woo wee! This is one of those moments where the thrill, the intense, the blood pressure's boiling. You're trying to escape a team that's trying to third party you. They take out two of your players, and now you're stuck all by yourself, and you're gonna have to rotate out. And Gibby's Toes on the hunt, but they're pretty far away, and they're forcing their way to get that last point. It might not be worth it. Sometimes you just want to loot up on the death boxes and prepare for rotations or getting the high ground. We'll see how they play it. It's still very early on. There's 17 teams right now. Everybody's playing smart and safe and taking care of business at the moment. This is what you want to see in these games. You don't want to have rushed aspects, and you love it. You love it. Great scenario right now for Team Gibby, who third partied that perfectly. And Avengers trying to pick up one of their teammates, getting hit, and he's gonna have to back all the way out of there and figure out what he can do for his teammate. Got to be very careful also because he is low with no shield, hardly no shield here. And look at this, Solar right next door, smelling blood in the water. They're trying to get some shots off. Anything going on? Look at this Rebirth. It's actually rotating deep into the ring. Let's see what they have going on right now. They're surviving that ring and rotating late, which is also good sometimes. It basically gives you a chance to not get third partied. If you're in the center of the ring, there's two ways to play this. Some players have been playing the edge, kind of holding back and not allowing teams to push them. And then other teams have, of course, held the high ground in the best position, and that is the #1 winning way to go. But man, oh man, right now they're getting pushed as we speak. You're gonna see it. It's UMP, apologies. UMP versus Rebirth. And Rebirth on the inside with a Caustic, which is very good for this team. Have a Caustic, you're able to push it back a little bit. And right now, they're not doing a good job of that. UMP getting some shots off. I'm liking this flatline scenario. And this is exactly what you want to see from one of the solid teams trying to get themselves in on the action. They're clearing it up right now. Perfectly done right now. Flatline getting the job done here. And their team captain, one Chris Boy, is crispy as can be with his perfect team wipe right there. And they've scored some points. And it's funny enough, they needed those points, guys. They're in 9th place at the moment, and they had to figure out a way to get up. And right there, cleaning out a team is going to give them a push up. That'll boost them up to the top 5. But of course, the other teams are still in the fight and still able to make some noise. So we'll see what happens. And speaking of what happens, right outside of the UMP scenario, Phoenix smelling that blood in the water. Today's theme is sharks, guys, as you can tell. So right now, Phoenix looking like they want to push UMP a little bit late to third party. Now it's going to be a fair fight, and Phoenix is on the low ground. They don't want to hold that spot. They want to just try to get themselves in the ring. This is ending right now. Got to get back in deep into the ring that they can have position. If not, they're going to suffer. And they decide to do exactly what I say and head on over towards the right side and pretty much avoid the fight so that they can get back in the winning position. And I like this idea. This was a good idea. And now they can rotate deeper into the ring. The only issue is they might be facing another team trying to press them back. As you can see, there is a team right above. Try to lay some shots on them. And it's funny enough, that team is probably trying to rotate too. So shooting at them might have been the wrong idea here. And instead of them rotating safely, now they're going to have to put up a fight against this team. We'll see how that goes. Team Phoenix in the mix, trying to make a name for themselves. They're on the bottom of the bracket at the moment, trying to get back up and get into the fight. And Phoenix just taking their time here. And using that portal, one of the best things for rotations in this game. Pretty safe rotation. You know how to use it properly. And right now, get themselves in the ring and they're holding a decent spot. I wouldn't want to say a great spot, but you can hold this spot until the very third round starts ending, closing off. You got a team pushing them right now. Let's see what they can do. I love when I see an Evo. We know it's the most powerful top 3 gun in the game. You can argue it's the best gun in the game just because of the usage and the abuse from top players who take this gun. I say it's broken. It's been broken for a long time. And it's just puts damage out there like nothing else in close range scenarios. And I would like to see it nerfed and the Peacekeeper become the top shotgun again. that's a different conversation for a different day. Let's see what they do here with this Eva. Great shot with the G7 right now. Mr. Vengeance is putting up some good damage out there. One of his teammates go down, so he has to be very careful here. Doing great work on Gibby, but Gibby gets away, and now they're going to have to figure out how they're going to play this. They're going to lose their teammate and rotate out of there. A very dangerous scenario, and it looks like Wraith does not get away. Phoenix is in a very bad spot. They still got time to rotate here. Their last player score some points, but man, it's a dangerous world that they are living in. As you see, multiple teams in this vicinity, and Phoenix just playing it smart. CSR trying to hold it down and get themselves involved in this scenario. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick listen in to CSR.
Yeah.
Actually, they're very quiet in here. They can't hear me, but communication is lackluster. Oh man.
Kill Dang, kill Dang. I have a site for you if you need percent. I got.
And CSR with their team captain Denmark organized other events and came on board and helped out in one of ours. Also wanting to be a player after coming out.
Dead.
You can hear him right now communicating with his team a little bit. Not much said there. We're gonna back out of that comms because it feels a little slow. And right now we're looking good for CSR. They're gonna rotate into the ring. They look like they're gonna be safe for the moment. They got a team right above them. It's gonna be a good fight here going forward. They have to push deeper into the ring. Let's check out who they're fighting. KAO take this fight right now. You see Gibby's dome, the most powerful thing in the game. Gibby might not be a popular legend, but he is used in comps. He is abused. That bubble is abusive. I'll be honest with you. We're worried about Seer, who's definitely was overpowered, but Gibby's dome has never been touched the proper way, where it's infinite, it doesn't get destroyed. You're popping it every couple seconds. And man, oh man, today I'm talking about all these abilities. We've been having a lot of talks about what needs to happen. I'm gonna have to go work for Respawn and work on balancing for you guys so we can talk with the community to say what we need here. And there's plenty of talk when it comes to that. I do believe that there's multiple people to satisfy. It's not just one or the other. There's the casuals who are in the masses. 90% or more is just casual players. And then the 10% is top tier players, which is probably 2 to 5% of that. And the others are very, very hardcore players who play consistently. So to feed the competitive scene only and change the meta just for the competitive scene would possibly unfair for the 90% of the casuals who just jump on and have some fun in Apex. So this is where the conversation comes in about where you are as a player. And I ask the community this right now. The question is, what are you? Are you a hardcore player? Are you a top competitive player? Or are you casually playing Apex and just there to enjoy? And if so, that means you have a different opinion about the gameplay and about nerfs and buffs and what needs to be done. Understand that nobody's wrong in those perceptions, but the Apex Legends community has to figure out how they can give us balance for all, because it's a different worlds that people live in. I promise you, someone who hosts his events but plays I don't play competitively, but I know what the competitive scene is like. No, best of both worlds. It's totally two different games, guys. I promise you that. And speaking of two different games, KAO here holding the position, trying to push off the team right now and get in control of this, but they are outside the ring. You got to be very careful. It's the 4th round. That ring hurts a lot, and they're gonna have to figure out how they're gonna play this. Good stuff, and I like what they're doing here, pushing the pace, not being afraid. At the moment, 7 teams left. We're gonna take a quick look and look at DIB, who's decided to take the fight. They want this smoke right now. They are really about this life right now, and they're pushing the pace. Good stuff by DIB to try to take control of this position before they rotate into the ring and try to finish this game off. And at the moment, a lot of shots are being ranged off, but they are just playing it smart and safe and holding this spot before they have to rotate. And we're gonna go ahead and rotate around ourselves and look at Solar as they pop some beautiful shots with the Sentinel. Amazing gun to do some shots with, very satisfying weapon to use. Really enjoy every time I pick that thing up. Especially when you charge it up, it feels the closest thing to a Kraber. And at the moment, taking their time, and they're gonna go ahead and start their climb into the ring, and they go ahead and wiped another team. Only 5 teams total. And Solar are moving deep into the ring now. They're going to have to fight off another team. Man, these Sentinel shots are amazing by Zeki. FPS showcasing top tier gameplay right before our eyes. Look at this perfect scenario by him to be able to really put out some damage, get his shield almost ready to go when it comes to maxing it out. Man, Solar are in it thick, and they're gonna have to fight people off in a small rock, between a rock and a hard place, literally. Can they get it done is the question, and I do believe they are in danger. You can see another team right next door to them. AAO going ahead and trying to push the pace on them. Two of their players get down and sitting pretty right now. Team Gibby getting some shots off. It's only 2 teams left. Team Solar has what it takes to finish this off with amazing performances right here. Top tier stuff by Team Solar. They are just taking care of business at the moment. And man, oh man, solid work by Team Solar. They're about to get in on this action and close this thing off. And we'll see how this works out for them. But they are performing very well here, and they have the advantage as the second team, which is Gibby's Toes, is on the opposite fence here. So we got a bridge and a fence between both teams, and we're gonna see how this one plays out. Solid work so far. And Solar right now scenario. Remember, Team Solar already won early on. Looks like Team Gibby wants to get in on the action as well. Team Gibby sitting at 6th place before this game. And look at this, they have a Kraber. This is the most dangerous weapon in the game. One headshot and you're automatically going down, folks. Be afraid when you hear one Kraber shot go out there. You don't want to be out in the open when that thing is around. And man, he has the Prowler and the Kraber, guys. These are legendary weapons here. And man, I'm loving what I see by Team Gibby. They might be able to stay in control of this position here. Beautiful shots being rang, and they take it just as we thought. Once we saw that Kraber, we knew that it was danger. Amazing stuff right now. And that is just the warm-up to tonight's event, because nobody is a winner just yet. But man, oh man, game 4 was spectacular, and I love what I saw by Team Gibby's Toes, and they are just getting started. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at what we just saw. The grand finale, you thought Solar had what it takes, but we knew the other team also was stacked up and ready to pack it up and get some work done. And man, oh man, it's about to go down. And right now, this was a perfect setup by Gibby's Toes. They just played it smart and safe, holding their position for a second, trying to force Solar to come out of their ground and push them into the fight. And as they did so, they had control and they pretty much dominated. And we play this a little bit in slower motion than regular. The reason for that, we want you to catch a couple of extra details. You see the shots being ranged off a bit. Again, that Prowler is a doozy. And man, oh man, we are just getting warmed up for all of these events and tournaments. And it is looking good. I'm loving it. And look at those shots for the Kraber. And you could tell that they had what it takes to get this rolling. We're going to give you the schedule right now. We're going to be right back in a second so that you guys can get in on the action for game number 5 coming up shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Giving the players a quick break and taking a break at the same time. We do these events and we want players to be comfortable. We don't want to force them into long 7-hour tournaments. Normally all of our events end in 3 hours, but today's the championships, and the way it works is there's no multipliers to speed the games up. There's no short setups where it's only a limited amount of games. This is real deal Holyfield, winner takes all. So all of these teams are fighting to get themselves to 50. So it's anybody's game at the moment. And the way it works is, even if you get to 50, you're not going to win it all unless you get first place after. So a very, very, very tough scenario for some of these teams who are not there yet. And if there are teams that reach 50, they want to eliminate them as soon as possible, take them out of the equation so that they can give themselves and everybody else a chance to catch up. That is the fun part. And that's the stuff I love the most. And it's going to be exciting, to say the least. I'm very excited about what we got going on. There's still many games to be played, possibly. Of course, it can end if a team has reached 50. And actually, there is a team at 50, so the suspense is about to be revealed shortly. So get ready as we get prepared to go into game number 5. This is always the best games to me, because that's where the teams start to score their points, and now you're going to get a dangerous scenario where they can possibly win unless somebody eliminates them. So super interesting, to say the least. We're going to keep an eye on the teams that do reach 50 now and who can be eligible to win it all. Before we go any further, let's talk about the format so you can know how it all works. Pretty simple and basic. This is called match point format, and it's 20 teams competing to score to 50. When they get to 50, that's when they reach the match point threshold. That threshold is just the beginning, because they have to get first place overall after reaching the match point threshold, and that's how they will be declared the champions of the Legacy Series. And we are deep into it right now. Game 5 gonna be starting shortly. Be ready. Be ready. Now, who you got? Who are you rooting for is the question. Who do you think has what it takes? We shall see. It's been a good time so far, seeing these top teams and top players do their thing, and I'm very excited, and I'm looking at these scores as we go. And I'm very, 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 very thrilled to check these scores out once See the One You Envy gives me the confirmation. And then we're gonna go and look at this. As I say it, she's listening to me, folks. She hears me. The queen of our scores. This is the official update right now. Wow. There is a team that has reached the 50-point mark. And man, oh man, it's insane. When you think about that, that is wild. Solar has reached 50 plus points. What does this mean? This means that they have a chance to win in the next game. From now on until the rest of the tournament, Solar, all they need to do is get first place. I make it sound like all you got to do. I love when people say that, right? All you got to do is climb Mount Everest and that's it. Well, basically, all they have to do is get #1 overall to finish this tournament. They can do it right now in game 5, but they are going to have a full lobby chasing them down to take them out. Oh man, I'm excited because this means 19 teams are gonna gun for them. If they see them in the kill feed or in their line of sight, they will have to chase them down and stop them. And man, it's a dangerous, slippery slope when you have that type of scenario, knowing you're ready to win it all. Super, super scary and interesting to say the least. I love it. And we are gonna go into game 5 shortly, but we want to check out the rest of the teams. And it's a wild situation. There's 4 teams with over 40 points. Team Gibby, DIB, and KAO all have 40. That means on this next game 5, all they have to do is score to 50, and then they can go ahead and try to win it all after that on the next game. So we might get a game 6 if Solar doesn't win. If Solar wins, it's all over and the championship is done. But if somehow the rest of these teams take out Solar, then we will have a game 6, and it'll go on like this until one team that has reached 50 can get first place overall after reaching 50. So it's a super interesting time to say the least, and we're excited because this is just the beginning. Apex Legends is at its finest. We have an amazing tournament that we've already seen by most of these teams, and we're going into game number 5. I'm getting them goosebumps thinking about the performances we're gonna see, the clutch plays. The teams on the bottom of the bracket like Fuego, Rebirth, Phoenix, Bronze, FNG, Avengers, Alpha, Zero, Mystic, and CSR on the bottom half, they can come back and get crazy on this next run right now. We've seen it before. It is very possible. And the same can be said for teams like Phantom, who were on the bottom of the bracket at 19th place and now are at 10th place. These players are hot. They just picked up the steam and they're about to showcase it right now. On top of that, you got Rampage, 6 Crutches, Brute Force, UMP, BTS, all trying to get up there. It's gonna be an interesting finish. I'm excited. I know we're gonna have an amazing game number 5, and I hope you are just as excited as me. I mean, I've not been this excited for a pre-game in a long time, so I'm just thrilled and honored to continue to bring this to you guys. And it is literally just the beginning. We don't know how this is going to turn out. This is where the interesting stuff starts to happen. These teams all want to stop Solar from getting first place, but they want to score as much points as they can, so they're going to fight each other off and try to get as much points as possible. It is all up for play right now, and man, oh man, what an exciting time to be an Apex Legends player in our tournaments. The Legacy tournament is real, guys. These teams are trying to be the champions and create their legacy forever in the Apex community. And that's what we got today, and I'm very excited about it. Humbled to bring this to you guys. As you know, this is my service to the world. I believe we all should be at service in some way. shouldn't be all about you. Sometimes you got to give back. This is my way of giving back to the world, and I hope y'all enjoy it so far. So good, super excited. Good luck to all the teams. Game number 5 underway right now as we speak. The teams are loading into the map, and man, I'm super blessed to be able to do this for you guys and continue to grow. And we're gonna do some new things and change things up as the future unfolds. So stick around, enjoy, get excited with me. You know, we are just warming up to an amazing future, and we'll see how this future unfolds with these teams still getting ready to go at it right now. Game 5 about to get going. I'm impressed that they've reached 50 in only 5 games. There's no multipliers. It's just team versus team, pure point system from the ALGS, and they've already got to 50. But can they capitalize? I know these great teams, all of these teams, have showcased greatness, so they can come in right now, put in the work, take over the globe, and conquer. Enough said. I don't want to talk anymore, folks. Well, I'm going to keep talking. I'm your commentator. But let's go ahead into game number 5. We already know the leaderboards. We watched them things for like about 5 minutes just now. We ain't got to talk about that for a little while. We're going to watch BTS, who is in 5th place with 34 points, where they're going to land, what they're going to do. We're going to also keep an eye out on the team to beat, who has the score to watch out for, and basically can win this whole thing and finish it all in game 5, which would be a very surprise but an amazing performance by Team Solar. We'll go in and out of their combat. If they get into a fight, we will gladly make sure that we keep an eye on them throughout this game. But for now, let's check out BTS landing in one of the new POIs, point of interest. I really like this scenario. As I was saying earlier, they're doing a good job giving our players variety, whether it's map changes, whether it's legend changes, weapon changes, new legends, and a tons of stuff that's just exciting for us as players. And man, I'm excited right now. Might want to turn this music down just a tad bit. And BTS sitting comfortable, one of their players getting a gold shield. A lot of news coming out in the ALGS that I'm not going to get too deep into, but they are banning a couple of different items, from the gold shield to heat shields and more. So it's super interesting because right now we know how everybody has their meta and their formats of playing, and this is going to change things drastically. Super interesting stuff, and we'll see how that plays out for them. It's going to be a full year of amazing things from the ALGS. We saw their first year, one of the best esports years that they've had ever. Okay, it started off and didn't pick up pace the way I think it deserved to, but as they went along, they really opened the door to prove that they are one of the best in the world when it comes to first-person shooters, when it comes to esports. And I'm just honored to be able to do my version of it for the community, which is what we're doing today. So super exciting. And game 5 is underway. And right now, I'll tell you guys a quick update on Team Solar, because I'm watching them on a second monitor. They're comfortable and they're looting safely, but they're very far from the ring, and they're going to be working their way back. That's all I got to say about the one and only team that can win in this game 5, Team Solar. And they don't have any trouble right now. They're going to rotate safely deeper into the ring. And speaking of that, we're going to move around and check out some action right now by Team Mystic, getting some shots off, taking down one of the players. And man, they are smoking right now. Solid stuff right here. And of course, you know, this is a hot zone to get into, and it looks like Team Mystic really wants to smoke. They're going to get up there and try to take this fight. They got to be very careful. It's one of those scenarios. You got to work as a team. And that's what they're doing. They're regrouping, healing up, and prepping for this push that they're about to do. And it's solid communication that helps you win games. And that's what they're doing right now. we're gonna go ahead and do what we do best and give you guys a little listen to Team Mystic to see what their strategy is during this scenario. In a very super dangerous position. And actually, Mystic is not on the comms right now, guys. So no communication from these guys. They are taking the fight. Solid work right here. Cleaning it up well, and they're trying to push the pace and finish off this team. And again, just smart stuff, but they get hit by a third party. They're getting pushed right now. Not a good situation. And I can't believe it. I'm seeing a Revenant push right now. Unreal. Multiple Revenant teams in the mix. Trying to third party this fight right here. Wowzers. The rarity that we see this in competitive. It's something that, of course, the community is always frustrated about. It's a very tough thing to deal with. But, man, they get it done here. And Team Zero cleaning up shop and figuring it out with this Rev push. It was something that, let's be honest, it's toxic. But it's very useful if you're good enough. You know, and one of the arguments is bad players can look good when they do a Rev push. And I agree with that, but if you're a good team, you can counter it for the most part and try to take advantage of it. But it's a scary situation because sometimes it can go either way, especially when you have a Revtane in the situation. And those that don't know, Revtane is basically Octane's jump pad and then hitting the Revenant ultimate, which gives you the death totem. Just a little bit unfair type of scenario, but it is what it is. And speaking of unfair, UMP in this situation taking the high ground away, and this is a solid place to be. You have the high ground and you're going to force teams to push you. Can they do it is a question, and we're going to find out shortly because there's multiple teams on top of UMP at this very moment. And we'll see what they could do in this scenario. And Rampage trying to get some work done as well right in the area, but they lost a teammate. They are hurting pretty bad. And at the moment, Zero Death trying to figure out what they got to do. And Zero Death not so hot in 13th place right now. They're gonna need some points, and they can't just be passive and try to get placement alone. They have to work for some type of actual points through eliminations. It's very critical that they do so. And we're gonna rotate around and check out where the action is. Here it is, and it's looking like Zero Death is in the middle of it, but they don't want to take the fight at this time. And speaking of fight, oh no, we're looking at DIB cleaning up shop once again. And man, one of the best teams in our tournaments has been getting hit pretty hard in these rounds. And the Phantom, you know, not at the top of the leaderboard. They made it to the top 10 and they got a little hot. They lost one of their players. Gonna have to figure this out here. Really got to pick him up. Matt is their best player, in my opinion. Everything I've seen from him, he's one of the best players I've seen. And he is down at the moment, and they have 45 seconds or less to revive him. And they are deep in the ring, so we'll see how they'll play this. The issue is, of course, when there's these teams next door and you're trying to survive the ring and pick up your teammate, and we'll see if they're gonna decide to get him or back off from this. And I'm guessing they are going to go ahead and try to get him. Smart move here. It's necessary. You have your best player. And you don't want to lose him completely. So they pick him up and now they can revive him. And they are reviving him at this very moment, which is solid work right here. And guys, this is critical. When your team goes down, you want to be able to try and revive your teammates. Simple as that. This team is top tier material with Matt on the board. He is their team captain, not just one of their best players. He's literally, you know, top player. And I've seen this man perform drastically. So having them back is going to do a lot of justice for this team. And let's just take a quick second and look at Solar, the team to be afraid of. And they get scanned just now. And they're going to have to be careful because there are teams in the line of sight. And Solar has a chance to win it all. And they're sitting here trying to figure it out. And everybody in the lobby is going to want to try and take them out. As you can see right there, one of their players gets beamed. They have a team right on top of them, and it could get very dangerous. I love the fact that they have a Caustic. They're pretty much playing to win. When you pull out a Caustic, when you pull out a Watson, you're pulling out team winning players. And right now, they're going to go ahead and use this Wraith portal to get themselves out of the scenario. This is the smart thing. You are able to win it all. Why take the fight if you don't need it? And just a smart move by them. And it looks like Brute Force is the team chasing them down right now, and they might want to take this fight. I'm not sure if they know who they were trying to push, but if they do, I would push that fight automatically. I will not allow the one team that can win it all escape. I will not. That'll be my main focus, to make sure that these teams do not succeed and pretty much slow them down as best as humanly possible. And right now they are currently in the mix, trying to figure this scenario out right now and get deeper into the ring. Solid stuff by them, and we're gonna rotate around and check out BTS as they figure out their rotation spot. Everybody's comfortable in the ring at the moment, but they gotta be very careful because this next round is when things start getting tight, and you see it. The double-digit numbers drop down to low single digits. We'll see how it works out. Let's take a listen into Six Crutches. See what they got going on right now.
I want to get that care package.
Oh, as soon as we switch servers, bro.
Out of the air.
As soon as we switch servers, bro. So, I'll keep on trying, bro. You guys are just better.
Wait, what do you mean grappling? I'm confused. No, I'm playing good, man. Stop the cap. That's what I'm saying. I'm not playing good.
They're just worse.
They are so much.
I'll get back in.
That was unfortunate.
My 20th time trying to get back in. Let's see if it works now.
Like that was worse than earlier when I or
If I just
yesterday
break
when
my
I
whole
looked
console,
up
you think
the
it'll
level
work
cap.
then, bro?
They getting pushed.
No, that's a solo Gibraltar. He's freak hell.
I'm trying to get close and scan.
You know where that?
Not over here. Right, there.
Can I kill him? Someone just landed near me. I don't know where though.
Who's not over here? Yeah, over here.
Hey, Ben. There's a team up here though on top.
I think Spadia broke him though. Can you challenge him? He's popping the bat.
Up to here, calms. Get it? Calms. Very relaxed comms, because this is how you communicate better. You're more efficient as a team. And, you know, if you put somebody that doesn't know gaming into one of these chats where you're hearing, kind of crack, push. Gibraltar on the left. Oh, again, third party. And gets very wild and reckless. And this is a fun thing for us fans who know how it feels as players. But the calm and relaxed teams can perform very well because they'll be able to be precise and efficient with their call outs. And that's also a skill in its own. Don't worry about your aim only. You got to worry about placement, positioning. I mean, being able to have IQ when it comes when to push or when to fall back. And of course, one of the main things, which is your ability to communicate with your team. And speaking about communication, you're seeing a lot of teams farming it out and playing it safe at this very moment with 10 teams left. And it's looking really crazy. The fact that Team Solar is still alive, guys. They still have a chance to win it all. 10 teams left. This can be the last game if Solar wins it. If somehow the teams eliminate Team Solar, then we will have a champion. Good stuff right here. DIB setting up some shots with that G7. It's a weapon that I want to get good with, but I play on a controller and I would have to change my bumper and trigger buttons to be able to shoot the G7 perfectly in the best rapid fire possible. And DIB right now sitting in a very comfortable, possibly the best position for the end game. They're just gonna have to hold it off. Sometimes when you have the God spot, it can be taken away from you. And we shall see right now how this all plays out going forward for them. We're going to rotate around to a team to beat that we thought was out. They brought back their captain. And Team Phantom is in the mix. I love this team. This team has some scary players in it. The most scary of all, it is Pat himself, the team captain. This guy is a machine. And man, oh man, is he gonna showcase it most likely here. This team needs to score some points and they got to get it right. And it looks like they want to get in on the action in the center of the ring and try to get the best position possible if they can. And they're gonna try to push that right this very moment, slowly working their way deeper into the ring and possibly able to take over this building if they can win the fight against this team. We shall see. And solid place to try to rotate here. Phantom Thieves, top tier material. Can they get it done? Is the question. There's only 7 teams left. Team Solar still sitting very comfortable, holding possibly the best position in the game for the ring. They're trying to push every team back. I'm loving what I'm seeing by Phantom here. Just getting their points up, getting their damage up. Also, really good. It's funny enough, the gold shields being eliminated from the ALGS is something I might have to copy. And once this new series starts on September, we will change some rules. And I do want to follow the exact same rules for the most part as the ALGS. So no heat shields and no gold shields. The problem with that is I think that they might have a way to do that in game, and I don't. So if I can't do it officially, then I probably won't set those simple rules. But I do want the players to get used to the ALGS as much as humanly possible. Look at this. Phantom is going to be fighting against Solar right here. This is the battle that you want to see right now. Phantom trying to get up in the top 5 at least. They're in 10th place. Inside of the building to the behind them is Solar. Solar is the team to beat. And man, oh man, it is a crazy scenario right now for Team Solar and for Team Phantom, because Phantom and Solar are both holding the best positions, but one's outside, one is inside. And they got to be very careful here as a third party scenario might be in play going forward. And it's looking like Phantom is going to have to take this fight against Solar. They look like they're pushing the pace, and we're going to watch some of their actions here and see how they play this off. And so far, Phantom not willing to take the fight against Solar on the inside. Solar holding it down, and they pretty much have the end game scenario in their favor. So they pretty much don't have to worry about much. They can solidify themselves to have a chance at this end game. And Phantom's the closest team to Solar, and this is why we're paying attention to them at this moment. They might be the team to push and try to take out Solar, and we shall see. I want to take a second to see where Phantom is and how this is working out at this moment. Man, oh man, what a crazy scenario. Before I go ahead and showcase what's about to happen, understand only Team Solar has a chance to win. If you're just tuning in, they reached the 50-point threshold. They're pretty much at checkmate. All they have to do is get first place here. And of course, they got 4 other teams about to circle in on them. And Phantom is the first one in, trying to push the pace here. Phantom is going ahead and dropping an ultimate at the top. They're going to be fighting a second team above. They might have to go into the staircase here and take out Solar. Will it happen is the question. We do not know how this will play out with Team Solar having multiple teams all around them. Everybody has to fight, and we're going to stay right here. As a matter of fact, let's check out Team Solar as they try to make a push and take control of the situation. The team to beat right now, the possible champions in game 5. That'll be it, guys. The tournament is over and the series is over for our first season. And looking really good for Solar, holding their ground. Only 3 teams left. Woo, getting some really good shots off. Getting up top and popping more shots. Team Solar has to be super careful about how they play this next scenario. The ring is almost closing up on them, and they gotta get in somehow. They don't have any high ground players to get them above. And here it is, the final fight. Team Solar coming in hot for the finish. Can they get it done? Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to see the world champions in this tournament. And Team Solar get it done in 5 games. The new world champions, first ever Champions Legacy tournament winners. Wow. I can't believe what I just saw. Ladies and gentlemen, incredible. Team Solar really got it done. Talk about greatness. Unreal ending. Finding a way to finish it all in 5 games, getting to match point and closing it out. They win the cash prize. They win the sponsor rewards, and they will have a tournament in September tributing them
says, nice Shokum.
with the exact format that they would want for the community to enjoy with them as a celebration.
Says,
Team Solar, somehow, some way, winning it all. Man, what a tournament event we have had. What an incredible display by Team Solar. We just want to congratulate them for all of their hard work to get here. Starting off in the qualifiers in May, they make it into the majors in the beginning of August. And then we get to the championship rounds here at the end of August. And now their legacy is forever cemented in Apex Legends. The champions. Team Solar Esports. I am thrilled, amazed, excited for what these guys have done. And man, oh man, I just don't have words to talk about how incredible this event has been for the past 3 months of hard work and dedication that we have given to this community. And I am grateful to be your host. But wow, Team Solar getting it done. Let's watch the grand finale. Team Solar, for the past 2 rounds, since round 4, had this position and they held it, fighting off multiple teams and just playing as smart. They forced the team above them to drop down. They tried to get up there and pop some shots. It didn't work out in their favor. They decided to hold their position down below. Their Cossack had so many traps indoors and outdoors, and they pretty much had this position for themselves for the remainder of the game. And all they had to do was fight off 2 teams who ended up fighting each other, and it gave them the chance to win it all. And it was a crazy finish when they dropped down here onto the 2 teams, third partying it just like Apex and all Battle Royale Legends games do. They had the advantage here, and they pretty much capitalized, finishing it off in great fashion and getting it done. Team Solar,
I0KCEVY says,
winners. Man, oh man. Are you not entertained? Is this not why you came? Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Wow. Listen, 3 long months, hard work, my dedication, and all of these teams also fighting to get into the qualifiers, fighting to get into the majors, fighting to get into this championship tournament, all of it coming down to that last game where Solar Esports got it done and did the job that no one thought they could do, proving to the world that they are the best right now. With our hundreds of viewers, I want to thank you guys for watching throughout all the series. All of the players who have played in these events, we've had over 300 teams or so enter into our tournaments. With 300 teams times 3, you do the number. That's a lot of teams. And we're talking about greatness from everybody. And we are humble and blessed to be able to bring this to you. And I'm excited for that grand finale that just happened. Team Solar got it done in 5 games. I can't believe it. They pretty much made my job easy. I thought we were going to be here 9 to 12 games. I thought it was going to go back and forth, but it stayed around fast, and Solar got it done with amazing fashion. And we got a lot more games to come, right? We're going to keep doing this for you guys in the near future. You go ahead and check out our schedule. We're going to be opening registration officially on the Discord on Monday, but you can still go ahead and find out the schedule and get in there and find out what we got going on. I'll showcase it on screen for you guys to see how it all went, how it all goes for this month of September coming up. We have 2 events, and by the way, the schedules are working around the ALGS. We do not want to interfere with the amazing tournaments that they are hosting, so we are hosting our own in different times as we go forward. So please enjoy, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tournament. We had a lot of great players, and we want this to be a respectful and a loving community. As you know, we basically want you guys to continue to grow together. It's all about the unity. It's all about us thriving as a family, and we just want to respect each other and enjoy. So go ahead, get to the Discord. I will open up possibly tonight or tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to spend time with my mom, so I might not have the time, but Monday is the official day when registration is open for our next season, for our next series. And man, oh man, what an amazing time it was. Again, Team Solar doing their job and getting it done, and it was an incredible performance. And by the way, like I said, you can go ahead and sign up for tournaments. We're going to have some really great stuff going on in the future. We're going to have cash prize tournaments, which is called cash out tournaments, where you can win some money and get yourself involved. But we also going to keep the series going for a brand new series tournament. So Legacy Series is what it's going to be called, and it's going to be for you guys to get on board and join our movement. So thank you guys for tuning in so much. I just want to give praise to every single team that has competed in our tournaments. It's a long list, but they are so incredible. We're going to start off with the teams that are here in our leaderboards just to discuss those guys. First and foremost, Solar, the champions, the winners. They came out and just put on a show for us. Incredible stuff. And this is the final leaderboards for everybody to enjoy. You have Solar with 77 points, top team, not only in score, but they finished the tournament. And then you have DIB, who scored 67. If somehow they would have eliminated Solar, they would have been able to stay in the game. Of course, Gibby's Toes performing very well with 52, KAO with 45, BTS 39, Brute Force, UMP, Phantom Thieves, 6 Crutches, Zero Death, Rampage, Mystic, CRS, Raven Alpha, FNG, Avengers, Phoenix, Rebirth, and Fuego. All of these teams getting to the championships. Congratulations for competing. We are grateful to have you. It's been such a blast hosting these tournaments, and I'm out of my voice, guys. I'm literally out of my voice, and I am currently going to get a quick rest, get something to munch on, and then relax. Man, I've had no sleep last night because I was so excited about today, and man, we got it done, and it was a beautiful tournament. We have the cash prizes, 300 for the player, and then the sponsor rewards are when we start building sponsor partnerships in the coming future. We're going to be hooking the champions up, and then of course the tournament that we will be hosting for the champions, it's going to be Solar Esports are going to decide more or less how we run the tournament. Of course, we're going to keep it fair. If they want to do something fun where it's only female legends or only scouts or something cool where we set up a unique setup, we want the community to enjoy it together. So this is pretty much our goal. And we're going to do that for the champions, celebrating their win. Also, just a lot of small tweaks like that that we want to give our players. And man, oh man, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good day. But we are done for the day. Congratulations to everybody who's played. And it's not over yet, guys. Like I said, we got a big calendar for next month. A lot of games, and it's going to be more games than these. We have other tournaments that are not announced in these calendar. There's still more to showcase and to present to you guys. So get with it, get ready. It's about to go down. I'd like to thank everybody who's jumped on board with our tournaments. We have people like Blowback Lady that we've tried to lift up, and now she's running her own events. We've had Pickle Chris, who is a content creator who cast for us. We've had Cowsworth cast for us. He's a player in the tournaments as well. We've had Why Not Be Casting also hosting a casting with me as a co-host. Great stuff by him. And we've had Yusuke also cast with us, and multiple amazing people come on board and hang and enjoy themselves, and we're grateful. We are recruiting more people, so if you want to help out, maybe you can video edit, maybe you can help keep scores, maybe you know how to cast and you want to come on board and be a co-host. All of these things are possibilities. You just want to contact me and get yourself involved in the near future as we go forward. With the hundreds of people watching, we are grateful to have you. Thank you so much. It's been a good time. Again, I do this for the love and to bring communities together. It's my way to give back to the world, hosting these type of tournaments and doing these things. And I'm grateful to do it for the games I love. And man, I love the community so much. You guys have been super supportive, pushing me forward through all this. It's been a really hard time for 3 months nonstop, hosting tournament after tournament, over 50 tournaments, hundreds and hundreds of hours I've given up every day. And without you guys showing love and supporting it, it would mean nothing. So thank you to the community and everybody who's been there. Just so that everybody knows, I am not affiliated with EA or Respawn or Apex Legends, the developers, at all. I am an individual who's a player like you guys, who hosts tournaments for other games, and this is a game I truly love, and I wanted to host it. I was given the pleasure by Respawn's management for esports by the name of Jay. I don't know if it's okay to say his full name, but Mr. J has been so kind to me. I'm so grateful for him being able to just support us in any way. And I'm super excited for that and really blessed to be able to bring this to you guys. So thank you so much for being a part of this. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, is what I meant to say. And I'm super honored and privileged to continue this. And we're going to keep on developing and growing forward as we go. And man, oh man, we're just getting warmed up, guys. So stay tuned, rock with us, and get yourself involved, because we're going to continue building from here. So thank you so much once again. Just a reminder, I want to remind everybody who the champions are. We're going to go back to the leaderboards very quickly to give you a little bit of flavor, to let you know what it do, to let you know what it is. and we're gonna go into the chat and check out Team Solar. I'm gonna surprise them and go into the chat and talk to them.
And if he had some companies or whatever looking to sponsor, who knows what he's got
Excuse
going
me,
on in the background.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
You are live
up,
right now, and I wanted to come in to congratulate you and thank you for coming on board.
Appreciate it,
Thank
man.
you.
Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it for doing that.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Can we talk
Appreciate it.
about that game? What was you guys thinking during that process? If we could talk to the team captain and then go from there if he wants to hand it off. But tell me, what was your thought process when you went into Game 5 knowing you had the chance to win it all?
We were just focusing mostly on just our positioning and where we could go. We didn't have much beacon information after the first beacon we got in. We just started rotating around thermal and saw that that donut was open, so we just decided to post up in there with the caustic gas. Made sure no one pushed inside. Just waiting for the zone to close.
Speaking
Shadow
of that,
Zeke.
yeah, I saw the caustic and I said, man, they're here to win. When you pull out a caustic, it's a winning formula there. You want to try to hold it down at the end there. So what was that play there when you saw that you couldn't get up to the roof? It was an interesting scenario. I'm going to play it back as we speak, and you could just give me your thoughts on that end game where you guys stepped outside and tried to get up to the roof but couldn't climb up, and the decision making on how to play that out. What was going through your minds in that scenario?
Well, I originally climbed up. I wanted to get some info because we didn't know if there was 2 or 3. So I just did a quick climb up, see if I could get off some damage, drop back down. The Q may have been a little fat finger, maybe, you know. But we were fortunate enough that they didn't immediately get angles and drop on us, and they decided to drop down completely. But yeah, I just wanted to get some info so we know there's 3 guys up there. You know, we just made sure to get rid of all the caustic traps that they were throwing below. And yeah.
Yeah, we're watching that scenario happen. They drop down right as I speak, and you guys come in for that third party fight. And man, I thought it was over because I saw one last player and I said, oh no, they're about to get eliminated. We're going into a game 6. But that last minute clutch play by TSW, man. Can you tell me, if you're in here right now, what was that situation for you there?
Yeah, that was actually Zeke. I was trying to get some angles looking down to get some damage before I dropped, but I actually dropped down on accident. But luckily I played a little corner in that little wall right when he dropped, and I just played that corner, got some damage in, knocked the Bloodhound, and I knew there was one left, and they let me know that he was really low flesh. So I got a little damage on him, and he was kind of forced to stay on that corner, take storm damage, and then it's out of there.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was awesome stuff, man. Congratulations again to you guys. I just want to say, you know, we just started doing these tournaments, and we just, you know, it's just a brand new brand for Apex, and I'm pretty much running it myself, but trust me, we're gonna keep lifting this up. Every prize that you heard here is not all. I want to, once I start lifting the brand up itself, I will be continuing to update you guys as well, and we'll talk more about prizes and stuff like that once we get off of this live stream. But I just wanted to give you guys a minute just to talk about your experience just live here. Anybody that wants to take over on just being a part of the CBL and this whole process as far as the games go and being able to get to the championship competing with all these other teams.
Yeah, I'll go. Me and Zeke had been playing together just for a long time, just running pubs, and then we found out through Rec that you guys were hosting these tournaments, and we just wanted to hop in, see what it was all about. We just ended up winning that first one. Then we started playing with Shadow. We ended up winning that second one, and then we just the feeling of winning was just great. So that's why we were mainly here. And we found out there was prizes coming in, so we just kept coming and focusing on winning. And now we're here.
Yeah, when we picked up Shadow, it was an immediate click for the team. I, as a coach, I could tell that he was the right fit for this team, and we're very happy that he was willing to join on board.
Definitely. I appreciate you guys. One of those things that I talk about is team synergy. You might have the best player, but if you don't have the best team, you're not going to win. And you guys came out and proved you're the best. And just so you guys know, not to drop names, but there have been a lot of ALGS world champions who've competed against you guys, and somehow you came out the top players. Even from this season, the grand finale, there was the championship team who won it all for the ALGS, won the big prize. They could not beat you guys. Pretty much nobody can beat you guys. So I just want to give you guys the ultimate respect and appreciation, and I'm honored to be the host of this. Any last words? Shout out to your mama. Hi, Mom.
Gotta shout out to Mom.
Yeah, gotta shout out.
Mom got us here.
Yeah. We're just thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah, man. Like, prize or not, like I was telling the guys, like, we didn't even think, like, we literally joined this under the impression that it was, you know, no prize at all. Because we just love to compete, you know.
Right.
We're getting on almost every single day grinding, even when people are offline, you know, messing around. Like, we're figuring out what comps we want, where do we want to land, you know, zone awareness. We're trying to figure out these. We've gone through multiple comps already to find the one that we played today. So we're just constantly grinding because we want to win, you know, prize or not. We want to be first on every single board, no matter what, you know.
Solar Esports for the win. I love that. And guys, you know, there wasn't a prize originally. I did not announce one, but I was working on some stuff. So, but I'm grateful to have you guys, and thank you so much. It's an honor to have you. We will talk soon.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, congratulations. Take care, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir.
Amazing stuff right there by the legendary, the team to beat. They are literally creating their own legacy right now. This is why it's called the Legacy Series. All right. We wanted to make sure teams build their own legacy. And when we started this in May, I was expressing to everybody, hey, we don't got prizes at the moment. We'll work on it. We'll build up the name. We'll grow together and we'll get there. And they came in a little later after that and ended up moving forward and advancing from the qualifiers into the majors. And if you take a look at the roadmap, the qualifiers are the community events. Anybody and everybody was able to enter, and it was through our Discord. Everything was free during this whole tournament. Nobody had to pay anything to get in, and pretty much they all were able to enter. And once you win a qualifier, you can advance to the majors. The majors did not happen until August. We've got a bunch of winners up until then. So pretty much if you won in May, you had to wait until the majors and then play in the majors. So these teams all continue to fight their way to the top and make it. And it was amazing stuff by Team Solar. And I'm honored and privileged to be able to be the one who's ran all this for you guys and consistently put it together. One last look at the schedule. We're going to officially open up registration on Monday. We might do it sooner, but understand Monday you can sign up for the new series called Legacy Series. And we're going to keep on building on this and going on to the future and building our brand together and building these players and keep showcasing you guys as we go forward. So super honored and privileged to continue to do this. And we got a lot more in store. So stay tuned here. I'm going to get up out of here right now, but catch me in the Discord. Let's talk some business. You know where to hit me up. Feel free to follow me on social media and get updates through there as well. We are here for the long haul, baby. All year long, Apex Legends tournaments just for you guys. All right, come through and enjoy yourself with us. It's Mad Gamer signing off, saying peace and love to everybody out there in the world. Continue to build for happiness, peace, and joy for your personal well-being. That's the best thing you can give yourself every single day. And today, I hope I gave you a little bit of that. Enjoy your night. Take care. Peace. One love.